And turning on the microphone. And hello, everyone. Welcome to our Monday night streaming with the Ruckus. We do a lot of tabletop gaming, but tonight, the Ruckus, we are miniature painting because, dear God, we have a lot of minis to paint. So it's good to maybe get at those minis. So if you play any kind of tabletop RPGs, and if you use miniatures for those tabletop RPGs, or if you like collecting, or if you play anything like Warhammer that has collectible minis that aren't painted, or maybe miniatures you have to assemble.
Maybe you hate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You end up acquiring a number of these miniatures that look cool but need paint, and then you worry about your own skill sets because maybe you don't paint a lot or you just don't get to it, and you put it aside and you just stare at them, and it's a shelf of shame, all these minis that are
The
there.
greatest failing in life.
But over time, thanks to our good friend Will over here, he's given us a little kick.
Not to be confused with Will.
Yes. He's given us a little kick.
We are Will Square today.
To go ahead and start painting those miniatures. So, before we get right to it, a little bit about who we are and what we do. We do a lot of tabletop gaming, a lot of video gaming as well. The Ruckus is a collection of friends that has been around for over 2 decades and growing ever since. We play a lot of games together. We've been hanging out together. We decided to bring our shenanigans over to the internet. The big thing we post on our Twitch right now is our Dungeons and Dragons games. We have a game currently, holidays are throwing everything off. I'm not even going to give a schedule right now, but we have 3 adventuring potters that are part of an overarching campaign. They're playing their own games. Think of like Captain America has his movie, Iron Man has his movie. Each Avenger has their movie, but they come together for Infinity War. It's kind of what I'm doing as I'm DMing these groups. 3 different groups playing their own campaign, but they're all coming together for their own overarching end game, which is going to be a lot of fun. I have another group that's not part of that overarching story, but they're part of the same continuity. They're called the Moonanites. That's a lot of what we do. We're going to have more tabletop gaming in the new year. My work schedule, oh my God, is going to give me more time. I'm going to have more time to do stuff. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm actually going to sleep more than 3 to 4 hours a night.
That's not true.
That's crazy talk.
That's not going to happen.
It's lies. Don't let it people on the
Why
street.
are you lying? Why are you lying?
Why you lie? That work schedule kicks in on the week of January 5th. So if you go to our Twitch, not Twitch, you're here, you're already on our Twitch. Twitter, if you go to our Twitter.
The Twitter-Totter.
The Twitter-Totter. Pinned, our top tweet is our new schedule. Basically, it's going to be Friday night and Saturday afternoons into Saturday night. A whole gaming extravaganza on Saturday. We're going to break up the stream on Saturday into 2 different streams, one in the afternoon, then a break for a couple hours. So then we're coming back with another game in the evening. And we might even have the odd game every Thursday or so. Really excited about how my schedule is going to be moving in the new year. Hey, Stardust, how you doing? You have come to witness shenanigans. Oh, you will witness many shenanigans as well. There will be so many shenanigans. But in the meantime, let's see. Here we go. I'm going to switch the view to... I'm doing a little layout thing. Hang on, doing the thing.
Doing it live.
Kind of doing it live right now as we speak.
I'm still debating on what colors to use for this guy.
Yes.
Here?
Exactly.
There we go. There. And I will move you. I'm setting something up so it looks a little prettier. And we're going to transition to, you're going to see the overhead now. We're going to set up the table. We're going to do a lot of painting. And
I didn't bring my printer.
Transitioning.
You can bring
That
your
is
printer.
the view. I am off camera now because I'm going to make myself a little beverage. The mic should be set up over there in the middle of the table.
Test, 1, 2, test. How now, brown cow?
There we go. Oh, this is a little power bank. It's a tiny little thing. If you want it, it's yours. I will use it. Don't know what to do with it.
Well, you just found out what to do with it. Give it away.
All right.
Start that up.
So our good friend Bill was starting with some Blood Bowl.
I made a mistake. I thought we had plastic glue
We did.
We
My
did.
plastic glue, but apparently it's a plastic glue. If you know what plastic, if you've used plastic glue before for like Warcraft, yeah, this wonderful little concoction right here, plastic glue. It's very liquidy. It's very viscous.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. But I've had this for so long, and it hasn't gotten used. It's more like a Heinz ketchup. A really slow, gooey. Yeah, it's gone.
It's like a Dijon mustard.
Exactly.
So I made the mistake of maybe I'll just try the old-fashioned super glue way.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not even.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that was bold.
I got two of them glued
Bold
together.
strategy, Cotton.
See if it works out for him. It was very frustrating. So I'm gonna stop with that. I was trying to glue them all before we started, but obviously that did not happen, and I'm not gonna waste my time on that right now.
No worries, no worries. We have other things.
I have plenty of things to paint though, so there's that.
All right. Gotta grab my drink.
So drank.
Drink.
And I'm preparing the place here for Ruckus New Year. A proud tradition in the Ruckus household. Get some water.
Did you see where the other one of these went? Should be two of them. Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. Alright. There it is.
I'm debating on whether I make this guy look really fleshy, or do I go like full on like.
I'd like to see bioluminescence on it, but I mean...
I was thinking about doing that with this one too as well. I think I should just do that like a whole series of just bioluminescent creatures for D&D.
I mean, they will stand out and be unique, if nothing else.
And very creepy looking. So let's see if I use my glow-in-the-dark paint that I'm going to be ordering soon.
What you got there? One slice?
I brought my tablet because I have... there's a color palette app on there that I want to try to use.
Oh, is that the one that, Will?
I don't know. Which one do you got, Will?
The one that I have is right here. It's called Pocket Palette.
Okay.
You tap to create a palette, and then you can actually choose how many colors you want to add, and then you can...
See the yeah, that's not the one I had, but I'm going to try that one out now. I'll give yours a shot.
It's all the video game design things in me. I'm like... I sit at work sometimes, I'm like, how would this color scheme look? How would this color scheme...
All right.
I'll move
I
in
think
a
we're
second.
gonna
I'll
get a
take it
little
off.
No,
this.
you're good. I'm gonna grab some coffee. My miniature. So, Will, what are you painting today?
A carrion crawler, and if I have time, I will go to some myconids.
And those Myconid minis. So here's the thing about Myconid minis. If you want to buy minis for Myconids, there's a pre-painted one that came from a collector set that it looks like a mushroom person. I have some of them. They look okay. But if you want something really robust, something really nice and well printed, to better detail, you have to get the HD primed minis that they were released for it. And put those suckers up to the camera so they can see those bad boys. They look beautiful.
Actually, I will actually take them out of this little packaging so you can see them better. That would actually work. Yay, live unboxing.
That looks nothing like the beholder that everybody wants.
Mm-hmm. These are the myconids right here. They got a lot of nice little ridge details in them and stuff like that. A lot of little nooks and crannies you can get into to give these guys a lot of good flavor. I have a really funny, nerdy idea for these guys. I'm going to see if I stick with it or if I go somewhere else with them.
Is that the rum cake?
Yes.
It's not the rum cake.
I'll let you guys eat it. I cannot.
No, they cooked off all the alcohol in it, pretty much.
Hey, it's my paint set.
Yay! Paint for days. It's always a
Yeah,
plus to
got
have
it.
lots of friends with lots of paint.
Got it.
But this is the guy I'm going to be painting
I know what
today.
I forgot now.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you're
left
sitting
mine at
on-
home. That's all right. It's all right.
This guy.
You know, I'm not gonna need that. You can use it because I could paint
What are you painting?
Mr. Snuggles first.
Oh,
So I'm
Mr.
painting this guy. He is a little polar bear, and you're thinking, but Raul. He's a polar bear. He's done. Yeah, I guess I could go that route, but I'm gonna try to not cheat and actually apply some.
Your polar bear looks complete as is.
Yeah, you know, I gotta put like a little Coca-Cola bottle in his paw and like a red scarf on him. It's gonna take some great stuff.
Did you pay Coca-Cola for that?
I thought they were gonna pay me for doing it on stream. Isn't that how that works?
Maybe. Alas, poor Coquito.
Yeah, I can't
Well.
drink it. Did you want to drink it?
I mean,
It's
it depends
delicious.
if Will's gonna have some with me.
Well, do you want to have some of that coquito? Because I can't drink.
I will. Yes, I will drink some coquito with
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank
What
you.
kind of question was that? You asked?
I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry.
And I asked the Latino if he wants coquito, but also the Marine if he wants coquito. It's like you don't even know me.
Here. You know what? I think we need glasses for this.
Oh yes, we shall be fancy, sir.
That coquito,
Fancy schmancy.
that is made by a good friend at work of mine. His name is Mark. He's a great guy. Mark, if you're watching, thank you for the coquito. He knows why I can't drink it.
There's two of them. I was thrown. Somebody put two tops on this ball jar.
That stuff is delicious, man.
Was it just the one jar, or was there more?
That's just that one jar.
Okay, we have effectively killed it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is this piece cut off for somebody?
Huh? Yes. I mean, I can get more pieces. No worries.
Taste it. That's all. That piece. Alright. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. They should have cut it off a little bit more.
But it's super, super faint, so
I mean, you know, I'm not
mass
gonna
producing
mess
it
with
like that.
I gotta be careful. I'm not gonna mess with it then. Back to the orders.
That's fair. It's probably the alcohol itself's been cooked off, but it tastes like it still.
Yeah.
Not the
Depends
alcohol,
on-
but what the alcohol is mixed with.
Yeah. It depends on what kind of rum they used. And usually for mass produced stuff like that, it's usually not the best kind.
I don't even remember what colors I have anymore.
So, Bill, what are you painting today?
Oh man. So first off, we're gonna practice priming again. I have Minsk from not the. It's one of the Dungeons and Dragons paint set. The what's it called here? Nolzur's Marvelous Pigments. The other one, which is I think Marvelous Paints.
Okay.
They had Minsk in there, so I said, well, I need fresh paint. Sure, why not? Actually, looking at it, I used to use a lot of the Citadel paints, which are great for metals, but I didn't like the containers that they came in. And even though it's nice to have that little lip on the inside for dipping the brush into, I really like the capped paints a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Those droppers are awesome.
So, I can see a use for both. I also have, so there's a new Elissalor miniature that was given to me by
So nice.
Kenny/Horace and JJ
bad boy right
Jambino /Gorn/Piffer. So
Love it when he does
we'll
Pepper's
start
voice.
with priming those two, and then after that, if I get around to it, it's probably going to be just putting one or two colors on a few of these other miniatures I've got here.
Paper towels for your brushes when you paint.
These are some Nolzur's miniatures. We got a Elf Hunter, Drow with a hand crossbow. We have an Elven Fighter, and we have a half-orc, I guess barbarian. He has an axe. That's all that matters.
That's usually the telltale sign. Giant axe, barbarian.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about your polar bear. Oh, and then these are some that I brought in to
Way back in the day, some PNC painted. I could feel the weight on these. These are the pewters, man.
the pewter. So I did those about 20 years ago. I don't know if I'm any good anymore because it's been 20 years. So
Warhammer.
it's going to be remembering. And if I'm going to prime these, I guess the first question is, do we have primer?
We have paint on primer in there, which is a nice. I like paint on primer.
Where's the paint?
It's just check the tubs. It's gonna be one of the tubs,
Should be
or one of the droppers actually. Now that I think about it.
Uh-huh.
I gotta do this polar bear?
Well, I would say you start with a base coat of white.
Touche, sir. Touche.
Honestly, I was thinking of going a completely different route. Gray in the base coat, and then bring it up to what? The herring.
Ooh,
You know.
okay, I get you.
Ooh, lawful white.
Lawful white. Oh, I'll need that, actually.
Here you gotta have a lot of lawful
Gotta
white.
follow the rules.
There are rules for
Lawful.
painting this thing.
Do you have any chaotic or neutral?
There's probably a chaotic black. Let's see, we've got
There's a meh gray.
there's a gray primer. Primer gray, man. Purple worm. I guess I didn't realize orcish skin was grayish. I've always thought it was more green. Silver dragon. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Do you have a silver dragon wormling? For no reason.
I have. I might actually, yeah. I mean, I want to check. Hang on. My metallic wormlings are over there. The chromatic on the other shelf.
Yeah. Well, you don't typically, people don't typically fight the metallics, so.
So I have bronze, gold,
One of my characters is on the search.
brass, no silver.
Interesting. There is a gap in your.
There it is. I mean, I have a couple silvers right here. But,
Yeah, but we're talking wormling here,
Yeah.
not adult or ancient.
I mean, if you want to.
Looking for a wee baby.
Jury rig something just for sake of having something. I have a white dragon wormling.
Yeah, but we're using that one, aren't we?
No, using one of my many.
Oh, yeah.
Using my unique one.
I could probably make one work then, if so. But
Because White Dragon Wormlings had 2, maybe 3 models for them. The more common one in the more recent sets has it squatted down, but the one you have is actually standing up. That one is Yaiko.
Okay, I've decided on my color palette. That is going to be the color of my carrion crawler. So that's going to be his carapace, and then the green is going to be for his legs and his appendages, and the red's going to be for his tendrils, and then this orange is actually going to be for his bioluminescent effect.
so why 4 colors? What's your reasoning on that?
Because working in quadratics usually is really fun, and it adds an extra dimension to your thing versus doing tertiary, which is 3 colors. Because you do 3 colors, you kind of just limit you limit yourself on that, because most people think prime colors red, yellow, blue, or if you're doing like the CMYK, it's the cyan, magenta, yellow. But
And the K is Kilo. I have no idea.
But the cool
It's
thing,
black.
but the cool thing with doing this way, this like this, is I have a contrasting color for each one.
Okay.
So I have the dark, which is going to be the carapace, and then the dark red, which is actually going to be his
Okay.
tendrils, and then a light effect for his legs, and then the lighter effect as well for the actual cracks and stuff that's going to be for his bioluminescence.
Okay.
So now, as for the primer I found only one primer so far going through it. It's a gray. And that's all well and good. I can probably work with it, but I've only ever worked with white primer. So,
It'll be fine.
I'm assuming it means that I'll have more of a muted coloration. Is that...
No, with primers, no, not necessarily. Especially with the ones that are done for miniatures.
It's like here, this one.
If you go to the extremes, like black to white, you'll notice the difference. The gray is not.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
No, as if you want to lighten it up, I do have a matte white that you can put a drop in to help bring it out lighter. If you want.
That's an option. That's an option.
Yeah, and then you can actually line up the primer and still have it stick to the body where you can put other paints and not have to.
That's kind of like the base colors from Citadel, I think, because those base colors can be used in place of primer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I know that much. I just...
Hook me up with your grays. And super light blue.
Super light
Like
blue.
almost like an Arctic blue.
Ghastly blue? Ghostly blue? Or
That's not bad.
do we have kind of a merfolk turquoise? I'm going by the official names, by the way.
I'll bring all these over.
Kraken?
Here too as well.
No, this was perfect actually. How about this?
I think these are the same ones you've got.
And what are your grays? Oh, and black.
Ooh, gelatinous blue.
And there's ghostly blue right here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
You're looking for like a really
ghostly
light-
is. You've got 2 ghostly blues there. They're the
Yep.
same.
It's like, wait a minute.
I mean, probably slightly different since I'm sure they're mixed at different times. All right. You want a gray?
Grays. Yep. A nice, like,
Dungeon Stone.
Perfect.
Lich Skin.
let's get.
Ah,
Now I'm gonna
it's
go with Dungeon
amber.
Stone. I'm
It's
gonna go with
amber.
Dungeon Stone.
All right.
Oh, I also have
I
this one, Toxic Mist.
Oh,
I must have left my brushes at home. But
there's a bunch of brushes here. There was a bag of brushes. It's not in there?
I didn't see
There
it.
should be like a Ziploc bag full of brushes.
And I have all these small ones here if you want to use those too.
Oh, is that the
amber?
the Umber Hulk in there?
Aha! Here
There
we
you go.
This is more what I was looking for.
The Owl Bear.
Oh, Owlbear.
I don't know how I want to paint this guy, and it's been bothering me for weeks. It'll
yes.
just randomly come into my head. I'm like, what should I paint him? And then I sit there for an hour trying to figure it out.
You can make him a Freedom Owlbear, bald eagle him.
I was thinking about doing that, but then I was also thinking about making him look like my Boomkin from World of Warcraft.
Oh,
And it's like purples and blacks and stuff, and I'm like, man, I would like that, but I don't know.
kind of like this. Well, this is a little green. No, I'm gonna go with this one. Stick with this one. The reason why he's gonna be he's on a glacier. I want a little bit of blue on there.
Oh, nice.
He's gonna be straight up. Man, this could be.
Yeah, and if you need the matte white, it'll be right here for you, sir.
We're gonna try on Minsk here first to see how it looks.
I need some red and some bone as well. Probably more red and then maybe a pink. Or like a flesh tone.
What are you
Candy
trying
and
to do?
Crimson.
Oh, for his, inside of his mouth. And then straight up black for his nose.
Oh, I have a matte black for that.
You were doing pretty well with your
Matte black. Boom.
Perfect. Thank you.
with your Skaven when you were painting those, Raoul.
I should finish those.
You
I
should.
still have them. I love those Skaven. Skaven, for those who may not know. Skaven in the Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
There's a game,
And
game called
Warhammer
Blood Bowl.
in
And
general.
Warhammer in general, yeah. It's a rat team of football players. A Blood Bowl is a game. If it takes football to a much more extreme sport. It's an awesome little board game. You could.
Boo.
What's this? Oh, it's on his shoulder.
I didn't see it until I started priming him.
What color is a miniature giant space hamster?
Whatever color he damn well pleases.
That is a good answer.
You don't want to mess with a miniature giant space hamster like him. I mean, you know what? Might as well, right?
Let's make it a wee bit easier for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. This guy is gonna be all handheld. And then I'll go to Kaz Rock next.
Hi, Jen.
I don't know if my chat's working. I'm trying to observe everything on my telephono.
Yeah, that looks better.
Make sure I mix these paints. Now, if you paint like us, which is like every blue moon, and you have paints just sitting around, shake these bad boys up, because otherwise the paint separates. And you want to make sure it's nice and mixed together.
Because the last thing you need is when you go to pour it out and you get soup first versus pigment.
Yep.
Oh, man.
I think I'll do... You know, maybe all I need to do is hit him with... Do I want to cheat and go the cheesy way? Maybe I don't even need
Why
to go
not?
gray. Maybe I just need to hit him with a straight up dark wash.
Polar bears are actually slightly yellow.
Their skin is actually black, I thought.
Well, the skin is, but the fur, if you look at it, it's not actually white. It's
Yeah,
yellow.
I'm going more medieval fantasy approach, like fantasy genre. Like
Shocking white.
shocking white, absolutely.
Lightning bolt.
Oh, would love for you to be here to pink eye.
You know who else should be here? Kenny. Hello. Oh, are you guys painting? Oh, that's cool. Roll for initiative. What? Hello.
If I do hit it with a wash, what washers are there? Out of curiosity.
And what I have? Probably not very many.
I have a dark tone.
It's whatever he
All
has
the
right
washers
now.
are in front.
Oh my god.
Do I want to go straight into the wash? I feel like it's a bad move. I feel like because it's already...
Shades.
I have a shadow wash, a flesh wash, and a brown wash.
Brown wash. Shadow.
Shadow seems like what I want to do, and then paint over the shadow wash.
Cassandra yellow.
This is weird. So, am I going to start with... No, I can't start with a wash.
Flagon orange.
I gotta get a pigment on there. And if I go gray, then I have to eventually paint.
Dragonhoff Nightshade.
The great debate of what to paint or how to paint it.
I didn't think I'd be this indecisive over painting a freaking polar bear.
But which shade of white should it be?
That one. Which one? That one.
How do I? The thing is, how do I pop the detail out of this guy? Is what I'm thinking. Oh man.
How do I keep and maintain the menace that is the giant miniature space hamster? Like the weapon Minsk has here, it's not really what you need to worry about. It's the giant miniature space hamster.
This is true.
It's gonna mess your day up.
He just needs primer, right?
I think so. Yeah. That's what he's getting right now.
Cool. Oh yeah, if he's one from the set, much like the owlbear over there, they're not primed.
Yeah.
That's why they include a primer.
And I think the Elistolor figure also does not have primer.
Yep. They went with a more expensive plastic route.
Which is great. It's just,
God, this is such a good looking mini. Hero Forge is where we got this bad boy from. And man, he's elf number 3014.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you're not even number one. No.
I mean, as elves would say, it's not even my first life.
I've done this before.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll see you guys on the flip side.
See you next week, guys.
I
lived for 3,000 years.
See you next life.
See you in a week.
I mean, it was sad when Doc Sheena left the group, but Elistolor was like the only one who's like, see you next life.
Yeah.
No, really, I'll see you next life. Ooh, they even have his cocky sneer.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they went for the face. See it? like one side of his lips up, the other side down as he faces his enemies with rapier in one hand and glass of Chardonnay in the other. Now it's quiet for some reason.
Maybe. I don't know what to do with this guy.
Did you consider maybe to make him... Okay, so, you know why it's called the Arctic Circle?
Why is it called the Arctic Circle?
Because Arctos is Greek for bear. So, a polar bear is in the Arctic Circle because it's the circle of bears. So, in that logic, that means you can have an anti-polar bear from the Antarctic. The circle that is not bears.
Your logic is sound.
Tommy,
I now know how to paint this mini.
Tommy would be losing his shit right now. That's right. That's Greek. That's Greek. He's right. I think the European brown bear is literally called Ursus or Ursa. It's either Ursus or Ursa Arctos, which means bear, bear, bear.
Well, usually it's what you want. You want to say it at least 3 times if you ever come across one, so everyone knows, like, uh-oh.
Not just 3 of them? Or are you just really scared?
It's one really, really big one.
It's one bear, bear, bear.
I love the bear, bear, bear. Man, Okay. I guess nothing to it but to do it.
I mean,
what washes do we have in front there?
a lot of washes actually.
Earthshade might not be a bad idea.
Is this bear from the plane of Earth?
Nightshade blue. Oh, blue wash for the glacier she's on. That's not bad. And then I'll do highlights in white. Yeah, that'll look good. Sorry.
Pardon the reach.
No, not that one. No, I don't know. He's not armored.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Why, does he know blacksmith?
That was a very special one.
Yeah.
Orange.
Drops. Well, just because I don't know what to do, I'm going to go ahead and start on the glacier at his feet. Just paint that a little bit.
I mean, it could be Glacier if you want it to be.
No, it's Mr. Snuggles.
Mr. Snuggles.
Or, I mean, it's my mini. I can say he's Glacier playing the part of Mr. Snuggles. But,
That's fair. Mr. Snuggles as performed by Glacier. And reprising his role as Mr. Snuggles is Glacier.
Don't give the bear.
Back from 3 years on Broadway for his critically acclaimed performance.
Don't give the bear stripper name.
That's fair. I see you paint without base.
No, these I already have.
You have a base you want to put them on?
Oh, no, yeah. I have the base right here, but I paint them first and then I attach the base.
Yeah. Do you paint the base or leave that black?
Usually I leave it black. Just because I put most of my detail into the ground that's around it. Like the Clockwork Dragon I did that I was painting here. That one has ground like on it where if you see him it looks like he's actually standing in the middle of a forest area. Or like the tree ant that I did. He's actually walking across a giant river. Which that was a last minute thing, which was awesome.
that was nice. I like how you do that.
Bright light. I missed a spot. I knew it. Yeah, I think for me, what I kind of need that it's maybe a product of my age at this point, but I think I need more bright light. And large buttons on my remote control.
That's how you know it's a good remote.
I can see the buttons from halfway across the room.
We're just getting old. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, well, 20 years since I did this last, so.
It's kind of a momentous time for you right now. Being 20 years, that's...
It is. And like right now, I'm just sitting here kind of going, I remember how. I remember a little bit here and there of the theory of what I'm doing. But for me, it was all from reading the Warhammer magazines and seeing the works in progress where they took pictures of different steps along the way. Different world. People would pay for a magazine of literally showing people painting things one step at a time.
Now there's like tutorials on video everywhere you look.
Yeah, actually, I saw a good one the other day on how to do Imperial Guardsmen from Warhammer 40k. I think for the chalice, it will be silver. And I think I'm going to do black for the accent on top to leave it vague what's inside of it, but also putting
nice.
a color on there, you know. the black is a shadow at this point, so that the depth of the cup might look like there's more to it. That's what I'm expecting. I don't know that will work out that way. Also, he has a very...
You don't need to know what's in my cup, okay?
yeah, he has a very vibrant cape that I need to ensure keeps that. I mean, we did spend 800 gold on all the capes, so I want to capture that. What color was the spell book he was given? Do you remember? He said it was fireproof and it was made out of something special.
He'll soon be wearing Mr. Snuggles crushwear. So Kazarak has a line of armaments that he creates, like armor and everything, and it's called Mr. Snuggles crushwear. It's like his Adidas essentially, or his Nike. It's Mr. Snuggles crushwear, and he had to roll to see how his business was doing every month because he had a lot of downtime. Did pretty good, especially this one month where Dave discovered his line of products, and
they're super sweet, bro. Dave's in their world too now, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's in your world, technically. Not in the same story, but you're all in the same Sword Coast.
That's fair. Poor Dave. Hey, you know what? In the end, he was tortured, but he became a better person for it.
Has one good-looking glacier. Just get some white highlight in there, and good to go.
Yo.
I almost feel like I'm done, but
Polar bear done.
Bear, 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 bear. Alright, so that's a bit of a trick, is getting these things out of there without touching them. Alright. Let's see what you did.
Excellent. We got some paint on here. So it's the wash is good because it's thin, and I let it settle in some of the nooks because I am going to give a little bit of a dry brush of white over the top. Because he's on a glacier. You know, he's on ice.
He's not on a boat.
Not on a boat.
You know what's missing?
What's missing?
Nothing.
Nice.
Oh, sigh of relief. Torture people to make them better? Yeah. Do we torture people to make them better? I guess. I mean, in Dave's case, he was with the Cult of the Dragon. He fought Lucilor 1-on-1 and lost. Taken to be interrogated, was very forthcoming with information, much to the chagrin of his superior officer, who was in the same room with him at the time for a while.
Until he was Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. Weekend at Bernie. I should talk to him? I guess. Okay.
Isn't that the opposite of what you've been saying all along? So I should? Wow, okay.
Yeah, that was funny.
Where to start?
Yeah. I almost feel like Kazarak would have been easier to paint.
You know, I think you might be right. Here, you know what? You can just reprime it.
Just get another layer of primer.
Put another layer of primer on top of that polar bear white.
No, Goliath's gonna have the gray skin. Shield. Cape. Well, cape looks like a hide, so that's gonna be brown. Good looking pauldrons there.
You remember you have to paint the wicked dragon across his chest because of the chest piece he's wearing.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have a wicked breastplate. He has like the target emblem on his chest. It's like a bullseye on his chest. Now that I think about it, that's not a good idea for armor. Jesus. See, around his belt, he doesn't have much. Not a lot of knickknacks around his belt, which is going to make it nice. Painting little pouches is kind of a pain. Okay. I can't just go white. Or, well, actually, wait a minute. Maybe I can. Maybe I'll just go over him white completely. Give him a wash. That teaches his enemies to aim for him while he's... You know what? He is your tank, so it makes sense.
He did spend a good chunk of a fight teaching someone how to properly swing.
His best friend.
His best friend. Bear.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to go gray. I'm going to go the super easy route. I won't need this blue, it looks like, because the wash did the trick.
Are you sure?
Back from the mouth. Half back from the nose. Love for white. I'm going to go paint all his... It's for white. I'm going to go... And then I'm going to hit it with a dark, like a black wash. And then dry brush white on top. See how that works out.
Huh, how did yellow wind up over here? Alright. So, he's an orc. I guess I could go basic and go with orc skin. You know, the one thing I can never get right is wood. Like, if you look at that bow there, it's brown, but...
Wood is brown. I think you got it.
But usually what I'd see people do with painting is they would use a lighter color, more like a cream, and they would put dark lines on it to show the grain.
Holy crap. That's next level.
Well, I could never tell. I'd always try to do it, and it's like it was always too brown when I would do it. So like this, you know.
Yeah, like if you did a dry brush with a darker brown, you can get some of that grain on there.
Dry brushing is not a thing I've ever done.
Dry brushing is awesome. Guys, I think we made a good choice going with white for the polar bear.
Yeah, you know what?
I think
You know, it was a bold choice to go with white,
it's
but
a little adventurous.
I think it's paying off. Bold, but it paid off. Let's see. So we've got our skin. So he's wearing leather, I think. Which is it leather or is it a harness? I don't.
Depends on who's paying.
I just got that.
I think it's leather. So it's another case of I never get my browns right. I had with those guys it was easy. They were either wearing cloth, which would be a vibrant color, or they were wearing steel armor. Browns always confounded me.
made the right choice by painting all his little legs first. So then everything else is going to be a lot easier.
Oh, here, you can just paint your owlbear with that. Done.
Yeah,
It's
right.
the owlbear
Yeah.
paint. Let's see.
Owlbear brand, owlbear paint.
Owlbear goes on owlbear smooth.
Why is this commercial referring to itself in the third person?
Hidden goal.
All right.
Everyone be cool. Everyone be cool.
Be cool. Be cool.
Be cool.
Hello.
Hello.
We are streaming.
I know.
Oh, you brought down the PlayStation. Thank you.
Yeah.
But which one? But which one?
Right.
I am.
I don't know anymore.
I really don't. I'd love to connect my Dreamcast again. Play some
Would
Toy
you like
Commander.
me and John, or not John, me and James to mod it for you so that it has an RGB out or an HDMI out instead of the old S video out? We did that already once.
Don't give them ideas.
No, that's.
Well,
I want
so-
that idea. That's a good idea.
It was a much better quality signal once we did that. It went from kind of muddy to it's a nice clean digital signal coming out.
Oh, that's
Because what happens is the signal is digital until it gets converted to a signal to go to the old TV, so it gets downscaled and turned to mud. And if you jumper off from there and bypass that whole thing, it's not bad. I just realized that the Army Painter War Paints matte white is spelled M-A-T-T, not M-A-T-T-E. As in, this is Matthews white.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
that's great.
Does Matthew know we have his paint?
I don't think so.
Shh, don't tell him.
So which brown did you use for the legs there?
It's actually not a brown.
It's a
I
red?
actually used an orange and a reddish, a cobalt red, and this guy, Rust Monster orange. My color theory is working out so well for me.
In theory.
Yep, in theory.
In theory. Right. Having a quiet moment.
Smart focusing very carefully. Getting on the other side of this polar bear.
Don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up.
Reason why I'm doing the legs first, I'm going to do the legs and all the tendrils and stuff first, because the massive parts are going to be the heart and carapace, and that'll be the last thing I do. And it's easier to go around all the small trim with the darker colors than it is to go
And then cut
over
in. Okay.
with light colors on something that's already painted dark.
No, now that I actually put legit white paint on them, it looks a lot better. Coquito. Or it was. I can't drink it, and I have to get drunk.
Man,
And then he
So
killed
who
him.
was
Such
the
as
brave soul to drink it?
2 brave souls right here. I'm gonna let that white paint dry. Then I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna get detail on this guy. I mean, I gotta hit him with a wash. I think we gotta hit him with a black wash, very light on the black wash, and then dry brush white. I think that's the way to go. That's gonna give him more contrast.
So he's getting a wash?
Yes.
You're going to give him a bath?
You know, polar bears are actually kind of yellow. I learned that.
They're not actually white?
Technically, I think their hair is translucent.
Really?
I think so. I think I remember hearing that like in a National Geographic type like show. I don't have my translucent paint with me though, so I'm gonna go with white. Come on, paint dry. Even with those simple little coats I did, this looks already a lot better. That's the thing about painting miniatures. You're always scared to get the paint on there, but the moment you get any kind of paint on there, you're happy and you just want to keep going. Because this looks so much better than just the gray primer you might have on there, or just the gray plastic it might be. It's just so much better, even with a little bit of paint.
Or you can be like me and completely hate it for the rest of your life as an artist. That's just me. It's just me.
I mean...
You can have everyone in the world tell you, that looks awesome, but internally, I still hate it.
Okay, where's that black wash? Shadow wash, here we go. Okay. I mean... We'll see what this does.
Trial and error.
Maybe I want to do the earth shade instead.
You could.
I have a ton of earth shade over there.
Again, there's brown wash right here.
But then it's not gonna... Black.
So what do you think would be good colors to utilize for leather on this guy?
Depending on what other colors you're going to use, you could go with a lighter or darker brown.
So orc skin is grayish, according to D&D Wizards of the Coast and the paint company that makes it, which I believe is War Paints, Army Painter War Paints. I was either Dungeon Stone or Lead Belcher, which is Citadel, for the axe head itself. Some kind of brown for the leather, and any buckles and such would have the same metallic color as the axe head. Not much else beyond that. I don't know what color to use on the hair, but he's not going to be Horus. He's going to be more like everything about him is going to be earth tones and muted.
You can literally use a regular brown and cobalt red if you're looking for a variation to the leather.
That's, yeah.
Mix them.
Reds.
No, not mix them. Like, use just a regular brown for major parts of the armor, and then you can use the cobalt red as an accent, or vice versa.
Okay.
Because think of this as like a cured leather that has a stain to it. So that's how it would look on your character.
Okay. And so what you would say to do, because I used to just go at it with a color and then switch it up as I went. So you'd say use the lighter ones first, which they're all pretty dark. I guess the orc skin's probably the lightest. And then move to the brown with the red as I go.
Yeah. Usually with the characters themselves, you want to cover the bigger parts first. It just makes it easier, because if you're sitting there fussing with all the little pieces, you end up burning a bunch of time looking at all these tiny little pieces versus like, hey, I have a whole body and torso to paint that's still open. Kind of like when you did Ubo, you did the shell and stuff on him first, really, before you'd mess with anything else on his body, because that was the majority of him.
Still, again, thank you for that idea for the shell. That mixing that bronze into that paint was amazing.
It looks freaking great, dude. I love how that came out. There you go. Check out those little legs.
Nice.
And when you think of it, if that guy's like in the Underdark or something like that, or in an earthier zone, you won't really notice those little legs.
So adorable.
Mm-hmm. Until he's eating your face off.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh god.
That portrait you drew of Kai though, Stardust, that was pretty sweet. You have a talent.
She has a very particular set of skills.
She drew a portrait of Chloe, you know. My cat, yeah. In MS Paint, no less. Alright, well, I guess for this fellow, brown.
Don't know if this is the right thing to do.
We're going to do Bug Bar Brown. Just because. Raoul, of course, is not the right thing to do.
Don't make him sit there and question himself for another 3 minutes.
Seriously, 3 hours.
Man, you'd think a polar bear would be over and done with already. What is going on?
I made the right choice.
I'm
This is
done.
good.
I'm done, Mac.
I
I'm
made the right
done.
choice. I'm happy with this.
I'm done antagonizing. I'm sorry.
It's bringing out. It's settling into the folds of the fur exactly how I want. So it's actually really good.
Okay.
I overthink a lot of things too. You have to understand that about me. I make a decision and
Well, you don't want to screw it up.
ah!
Sorry.
And that what makes you the perfect DM.
Thank you.
You think of a million different things, and then when we try to break it, you have you have counterpoints for everything.
I knew you were going to try to marry the Red Dragon. So,
Not today, nerds. Gotcha.
Here is the Red Dragon's mother-in-law. She's not very pleased with you, and she wants to know what your plans are in life.
She wants to hear your next 5-year plan.
guys, I think we're in over our head.
You should just sever, man. Just sever. I can't. I'm committed. I am committed at this point. We have an egg.
If you're not here to support my Dragonborn, then you can leave.
Jeez.
D&D version of Maury. Listen, Lord, you are not the father.
Yeah, poor Tom. Like, he wants to join in so bad that he's literally creating drama with, how come the kid looks like a Lucidor? I don't know, man. It's the first I heard of that, too. That's your role play, not mine. I genuinely have no idea.
I know nothing. Nothing that you can prove, at least.
Yeah.
We would like you to step inside the zone of truth. Nope.
Remember how you named the kid after me? Because he said he had my eyes.
Well, you got more than my eyes. You got about 50% of me.
Damn, see, I was just going to leave it implied, but you went straight for the throat.
I play accuracy-based characters. I can't help it.
I mean, truth. Alright, guys, get off here. I thought the light over there would be sufficient. It's not. Don't get old. Oh, this is much better. Oh, man, I can... This is great.
I can see everything now.
I see it all.
You can see clearly now?
The rain is gone.
See all obstacles in your way?
That's right. Which means I get advantage.
All right, get out, both of you. Think about what you said.
I get advantage.
Yep. Going with the black was a good idea. Hit that with a whitewash and then get the details in the face and this guy's done. Oh, then the glacier a little bit. Too much spotting there.
I'm still debating on whether I'm going to have Bushiol talk to the group after the meeting that we had.
Talk to the group?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Remember we talked about it when we had sushi, about the thing that he has on him?
I forget. What was it?
The scar from...
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm debating. I'm really debating. Dude, it took everything not to stab that dude in the face.
He has wings on his
Oh my
That was
god.
good. That was good. I could see that he was good.
You're about to make me murder this man in front of all these innocent people. They're just trying to have a good time at the bar. I'm gonna get blood all over the place. It would have been horrible.
Somebody dry brushing with this one? It's all crusty.
So I saw this one meme and this one joke on the internet somewhere. It was hilarious. It was like, what would happen if you were like an albino black bear or an albino brown bear? And people kept thinking, oh my god, that poor polar bear tranquilizing you. And then all of a sudden you'd be walking around finally at home in the forest and poof, you're unconscious, wake up in a glacier somewhere. No!
No! I've seen that. I would be so pissed. Like, yay, I can finally go get some salmon, and all of a sudden, penguins!
Cobras! Cobras!
I'd be so mad. So mad.
Come on, dry, because I gotta get a...
Yeah, you don't want
Dry brush.
you don't want to use the wrong white color on top of that other white.
Nova was, not gonna lie, panicking about a possible fight. Like, dude, this is my hometown, not here. What the fuck?
Hey, that people killed my entire village. That dude killed my entire village. Whew.
Which people?
That
Hit
was
him with the story. Hit him with the
Okay.
story.
So, we were in Waterdeep, right? Just chilling, having a good time.
And by we, you mean the Moonanites?
Yes, the Moonanites.
Seen every other Saturday here on this channel. All right, go on.
So, apparently, when went up to a vendor to buy some stuff, just like arrows and stuff like that, he said that he saw my character the day prior.
Murdering everybody.
No. Bashil doesn't just outright unwanted murder people, except one person. Apparently,
Well,
now
not your
that person needs to die.
not your character specifically, but someone else looking like your character murdering people.
No, he wasn't murdering. He bought almost all that guy's stock of arrows and stuff like that. He was literally just...
Buying them out so you couldn't get it?
I have no idea. Apparently so. Jerk. This is why I will learn wood carving. I'll make my own arrows. Talking to the vendor, you find out that yeah, you were here in Waterdeep yesterday and you bought up most of my stuff and you were really quiet, you didn't really say much, and all of a sudden I'm like, where else did I go? And he pointed at a bar. Went into the bar, we had a few drinks, talked to a barmaid. She was like, oh, you're back. And I'm like, I've never been here before.
Do you want your regular spot?
Yeah, and then we get our regular spot and
Regular spot, air quotes.
Yeah, because I've totally been here before. End up finding a stone under the table, which we end up getting Nova again because she was at church doing church things, as good clerics do. Go into her room and we play the message that's on the stone because apparently it had a secret message in it. And it talked about a town and that something was going to go down. And so we're like, okay, that sounds ominous. Nova wants to go drink, so we go to the bar.
So we have to go down in the town.
Mm-hmm. And as we show up, the barmaid sees us and she goes, you're already here. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And walk up and see someone who looks exactly like me sitting in the chair. Come to find out that guy is the thing that destroyed my entire village and killed all of my people.
A doppelganger?
No, worse.
A Rakshasa.
Nope. Demon Lord.
Oh, and he's pretending to be you.
Yes.
What did you do to piss him off?
I have no clue, because before Bushido became an adventurer, he literally just wandered the forest at night, gathering herbs and stuff like that for his village and stuff. Just simple things that only can be procured during dark hours.
That phrasing leads me to believe many things. That is some openness in that phrasing.
But he also would meet with Optic. Optic was formerly part of his village, was booted out of the village because of the experiments he did to himself.
I mean, you know, his genius is rarely understood, I'm sure.
And being a simic hybrid doesn't really go well with a lot of people.
Well, first off, they have to be able to say it.
Yeah, seriously. But, so...
Too much.
He ends up having to sit next to this thing that annihilated his entire village, and the guy used everyone else in the bar as a bargaining chip that other people would get hurt if anything were to happen. So through all that is good and holy, I held everything in and not stabbed this dude in the face.
Even though he had it coming.
Oh, he so has it coming. And saying that he was looking for Optic too. So I'm like, so now we're at that town where something was about to go down, and there's direwolves there. So, yeah, that's pretty much how that little section ended. With me seething in rage, drinking chocolate milk.
Chalky milk.
Yep.
So curious about something. You said he was a demon lord. How do you know this?
Because that's what, well, demons attack the village.
It's true.
And usually they all follow someone bigger than them.
That's true.
And by the way, he was being pompous and arrogant, and how others saying that others would pretty much easily get hurt if anything were to happen. Not that hard to figure out. Like, this guy has some pull. I should have stabbed him in the freaking thing. I should have just pulled out the longsword and just right through the sternum.
Did it all right then and there.
Yep. So he ended up leaving out of the bar.
And Stardust is like, when did he say he was a demon lord?
I think it's implied, Jen. I think it was implied.
Because he was arrogant, cocky.
He said no
Hated him.
with his foot.
But yeah. Yeah, there's some information that Bashil has that he hasn't really talked about with the group about that night. So we'll see if he does or not. Not too sure yet. Stardust, you heard nothing. God, I should have stabbed that dude. That's gonna just...
Where's a Simic hybrid when you need one?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Bashil's gonna need to message Optic soon and talk to him.
This guy has wings on the back of his shoes, and I don't know what color to go with those. I guess I could do like something vibrant as an accent, because he's got feathers in his braids too. So I can do something to match on the two. Maybe like a purple, something that just kind of stands out, draws attention to it.
you can do like a purple and green kind of peacock feather it.
Could. If my eyes are up for it, we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to solder anymore for work.
You ever used to play catch the soldering iron?
Yeah. Remember not to grab it by the hot side. High school I went to, the same one that Kenny and JJ went to. This one kid, legends are told of him because they used to have a class on soldering there. And he plugged his iron in, and a few minutes later, the teacher heard a loud shriek, looked over, and he grabbed it and burned his hand pretty bad.
Good job.
And when asked why, the kid said, "It wasn't hot when I plugged it in." And I have that second hand, so everyone, for all of you, it's third hand. Second hand, as in the first hand source told me, as in the teacher who had this happen and was the one who asked him, "Why did you do it?" So, so there you have it. Don't do that. Don't grab it by the hot end. It's gonna have a bad day.
Can we just remove warning labels off of things for like 2 years? Like no one be held liable for anything. Just let it happen.
Well, I mean, if you've ever wondered why the laws they write in OSHA are very, very, very specific, it's because somebody already died from it.
Oh yeah, trust me. I've been in many safety briefs in the Marine Corps on what not to do.
Why is it so specific about not putting my hand directly in this thing while it's set in this? Oh, somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, like no using your poncho liner to parachute out of your window during hurricane season. Yeah.
Well, did they show you guys? Did they show you guys the video of the guy being pulled into the jet intake on the aircraft carrier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why when you're...
Don't do that. Don't stand in front of the jet intake. Here is why. Man, that one was...
Like if you get pulled out in a rip current, do not try to swim directly to the shore. Swim at an angle.
Yeah.
Swim parallel to the shore. Because if you keep trying to swim to the shore, it's just going to pull you further and further out. And before you know it, you're in the middle of the ocean. All alone.
Sucks to be you, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see. Who wants to go next? How about you, Simple Elven Hunter? I'm already doing brown, so I can do brown again. Let's be efficient with our paints. You actually very clearly have leather pants on, whereas the other guy, I don't know.
He has a kilt.
Come to the point that I needed to.
Looked like he had a harness, honestly. But yes. This brown is really watery, and I think it might be because I didn't shake it up enough. That's a little bit better, I think. My thoughts exactly.
It's like triple forked at the end. I need to find... I think this brush is done. I can't paint with this. Not what I'm trying to paint. Yeah, more fine point.
You really need that fine point for the detail on the white with the polar bear.
I'm trying to get his little black button nose.
I thought you were trying to get the Coca-Cola bottle in there.
I got a green stuff, that one.
Ah, that's okay.
They forgot to include it with the model. Oversight, and there's the other part.
It's a common oversight. People think it's made up, and it's like, no, that's legit. Just like the bears in the forest that are always like celebrating the fact that they poop. You know, the Sherman bears. Everything is grounds for a celebratory poop for them. Check it out, we pooped.
Victory poop.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's little eyes. Good.
Oh yeah, so come March time frame, I may disappear for a little while.
Indeed.
Reactivated for 30 days, or?
No, thank God. No. Oh, don't wish that evil on me.
I don't, I just...
Nova's offering to do ascending to Optic.
Ooh. Yes, if that is possible, I would like to do that. Very much so.
It is very much possible.
But we have a problem with the direwolves in front of us first. We have to deal with that very aggressive situation.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious where Storm King's Thunder goes. Like that's been kind of a missing piece of our repertoire here. Now, looks like we're gonna finally have an answer on that.
Gonna be taken for granted. That's where we're being taken. Gonna get beat up by a bunch of giants.
I mean, someone's got to do it. Might as well be you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, get the new guys to do that. Okay.
Isn't that a common thing in the military? Put the new guy on point?
Well, not necessarily on point. We have a bunch of other things like my favorite thing was to go to Staff Sergeant and ask him for the Pricky 6. Because the ranking structure for enlisted is E1, E2, E3, E4. E6 is Staff NCO, Staff Sergeant. So when you tell, hey, go tell Staff Sergeant I'm looking for a Pricky 6, he should know where it's at.
Sure, I love that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That or we have them look for the keys for the Humvee. The Humvees do not have keys at all. Finding 3 feet of flight line. Flight line is literally where the planes take off of.
You ever see him elephant walk it?
Yep.
So what kind of a starter did they use on the Humvee's push button, or?
It's a little crab claw. It has 2 little switches, like you pinch them together. Because you click it over once to let it test the system, and once the system test is done, the light goes off. You click it again, and the car turns on. Or we have them sit there with a bag to get exhaust samples from the Humvee.
Exhaust. Get exhaust sample.
Oh yeah, dude.
I had a guy
Or look for a box full of grid squares. So yeah, it's a bunch of stuff.
When I was doing public television stuff, we had one guy stand in the middle of an ice arena holding a white card so we could do white balance on the ice, you know. It's like, yeah. So there's a picture of him just standing there holding the big white card we use in front of a solid white sheet of ice. It's like, yep, thanks for that, buddy. Just standing out there all by himself, grinning from ear to ear like he's helping. That was a good time.
Or we have people go to supply and ask for ID.10T form.
Ah, yes. I love the ID.10T. It's a very common form in IT as well. It's an ID.10T error. It's right up there with PC load letter. Everyone would look at that and say, what the heck is PC load letter? That's what happens when you have an engineer trying to figure out how to communicate something to human beings. It meant paper cartridge, but everyone assumed it meant PC. But the ID10T, oh yeah.
It's a timeless classic that isn't going anywhere.
No.
Oh, my favorite one for our MOS specifically. We deal with chem lights, right? Civilian side glow sticks. To set up late night ops and stuff like that for the helos. And so for the new guys, we'll literally tell them go to supply and ask for the chem light batteries.
The chemical lights that don't need a battery.
Yeah.
Love it.
So they'll sit there and go to supply, and they'll ask the supply NCO for chem light batteries. The supply NCO will call them an idiot and send them away. And they'll come back to us. He just made fun of me and told me to leave. Go back and get the batteries. We need the batteries so we can do this op tonight. Go. Don't take no for an answer.
Oh my god. What happens if he actually came back with batteries?
He would be the greatest NCO ever.
Another thing we should do for my MOS specifically too was when the boats come to dock, they just dock. We have our guys stand outside and ground guide them to dock them. So like usually when you're driving vehicles on the port and stuff, you need a ground guide to guide you around and stuff like that through tight corners and all that other stuff. But we have a boat called an HSV. It's a giant boat and it has a giant loading ramp that they back up to the pier. They drop the ramp and everything just drives off and you just pull everything off of it super quick. HSV is coming in and I grab 3 of our new boots and I'm like, hey, you guys know how to ground guide the HSV? And they just looked at me and they're like, no, Corporal, we don't. And I was like, how do you guys not know how to do this? They teach you this in school. And they're like, no, they never went over this with us. I'm like, you know how to ground guide a Humvee? Yeah, it's the same concept. But we need to have more, a multiple of you guys because it's a big ship. They need to be able to see you guys, so you need to have 3 of you out. I have 3 guys at the end of this pier doing this to a big-ass boat that they can't see them.
I mean, they probably could. They're just laughing their asses off on the bridge.
No, because the boat's reversing. They
Oh.
they don't see any of that. The guys from the cockpit, but from the actual tower. But the funny thing is, you have all these grunts that were on the ship waiting to offload because they were doing training. They see these 3 guys in hard hats and stuff doing this, and they're all just like. And then my staff sergeant walks up to me and he goes, Lugo, what the hell are those guys doing? I'm like, they're ground guiding the HSV. And he looks at me and goes, did you tell them to do that? And I'm like, yeah. And he just shakes his head. He gets on the radio. Hey, idiots, get away from there. And they're like, but Corporal Luke said, I don't care what the hell he said. It's a big-ass boat. I can't see you. Move. Before you get hurt. Best day ever. It was the best day ever. It kind of became a rite of passage for all the NCOs to see how many boots you can get to do something like that at once at any given time. And we never did anything that was going to get anyone hurt, but we just tried to find ways to screw with the new guys, but to try to mess with them all at once.
Good times, man.
And the best part ever is since this was in Japan, you had all the Japanese dock people that worked there at the dock.
The longshoremen?
Mm-hmm. And you had them all looking at me and me just smiling from ear to ear and looking at the guys over there. And even though there was a language barrier, humor transcends all languages. So even they looked at it and they sit there and you see them laughing and I'm just like, there you go. That's my moment.
Right, I think I'm done. Simple, to the point. Give his snout a little bit of color too, because
It needs it.
what do you think? I mean, very simple, super simple.
I actually like that a lot. It looks really good. That is one ferocious polar bear.
All right, there we go. Polar bear. Pretty simple. Not much to it. A lot of overthinking went into this model. A lot of overthinking. But got it. Mr. Snuggles. You got the primer over there? I'm gonna prime this guy right here.
Primer should be right next to you, isn't it? Actually, there's already some in the tray. The gray spot
Oh,
there.
sweet. All right, cool.
I mean, probably for the best if we just use what's already out first.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Kenny is enjoying watching the Star War.
So do I. I enjoyed that movie very much. No spoilers. We're not gonna talk spoilers, but I'm just gonna say I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
You know what's funny? A bunch of sales for The Witcher happened on Steam because of the TV show. And they're literally
Steam sale is on right now, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And, literally
Steam.
because of that, they ended up, I think, with like in an hour, they ended up with like 50,000 plus more people playing the game at once. Just like yes.
Score. It's supposed to be really good Netflix show too. I want to see it.
I started watching it. I got through the first episode. It's good.
I gotta binge it.
Yeah, I'm going to binge it, but I have a long 6-hour drive coming to me tomorrow.
For why?
I'm actually going to Michigan for the holidays, so
You.
going
Michigan.
all the way over there. Yeah, unfortunately, my family decided to be like, yeah, we're all going to leave Chicago and go all the way over there.
I'm not a fan of trips to Michigan.
Because especially you have to drive through Indiana. I'm not a fan of that.
That part sucks, but like I've had plenty of 8-hour round trips in one day.
Because of bullshittery.
Well, things, not my favorite. Sometimes not bullshittery, sometimes just 8-hour round trip. Oh, man. You think you can do it, and then you do it, and you're just like...
Why did I do this?
Right. And then afterwards, you're like, well, I did it, so obviously I can do it. And then you're like, wait, no, what was I thinking again? Why would I... I should have known better.
Does the definition of insanity mean anything to anyone? I am happy I have a bunch of audiobooks that I'm going to be playing on the way over there, so I have stuff to listen to.
That's good.
Man, there's a bunch of video games coming out next year that I do not have the time to play.
I don't have time for the video games this year. Let alone next year. And I just got another console. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a curse. It's like the monkey's paw.
Every time you get another one, it just everything just goes downhill from there. I literally replayed The Last of Us the other day and just finished it again.
See that? That's why I'm plugging in my PlayStation. 'Cause I want to play and beat that game. Never have, and it's supposed to be one of the best games like of all time. And from the very little I played in the beginning, yeah, I see it.
I've never played it.
It is definitely worth the playthrough.
What kind of genre is it?
It's survival horror.
Not my favorite. Alright. So give me a little bit more detail than that.
Well, what ends up happening in there's a virus outbreak that causes people to pretty much zombie out.
Zombify.
Yeah, but it's not like your normal zombie thing. What it is, it's spores get released that embed themselves into your brain.
Rapport spores?
Yeah, pretty much. And which causes you to go psychotic and you just start attacking people and stuff.
Okay.
But the thing is, as time goes on and you have that infection in you,
spread it?
So you spread it, but what ends up happening is your brain. You know those mushroom spores that take over bugs?
Yeah.
It's that pretty much, but for humans.
For humans.
So what ends up happening is your head pretty much turned into this weird fungal thing, and you become what they call clickers. That you don't have sight anymore, but you use echolocation to try to locate people. And so you're trying to survive hiding from them and stuff because you're transporting a girl from one part of the country to another because she has an immunity to it. So that's why you're doing all this and yeeting your minis.
Off across the table in a fit of rage.
Mm-hmm. But dude, it's just the overall storyline that they made for it. Like, there's really good character progression. You see the growth of all the characters involved in this story and stuff like that, and how they change as time goes on. And all these different instances where it's just like, there's a bunch of moments where you'll sit there and you just like, the first time I played the game through, there was moments where I almost had to stop the game because I was just like, holy crap, why the hell did they put that there like that? Like, that moment just messed me up. And that's what is really good video game writing, when you have to stop the game to just sit there and like, absorb what the hell just happened on the screen. And Naughty Dog definitely found a way to do that with this game.
I really want to get to one of my dragons.
Yeah, dude, I'm waiting to see you knock out one of those huge guys, man.
I have an easier time with bigger minis than I do with smaller ones, man. This one, oh wow, that looks good.
It's not that great. The silver does look good though. The brown kind of came on weak, so I had to do another layer on it. But yeah, touched it. Damn it. I got to go over with the red, but
If you have to do another layer, that's better than having too much paint on there.
yeah,
The layering is fine. When you do like really fine layers for layering, you do like several layers of a really fine paint. So that's fine. That's good.
When painting minis, it's better to err on the side of caution.
I suppose that's true. Doesn't make me feel better, but I suppose that's true.
Check this out. I'm putting little suction cups on there.
Oh, nice, dude. That's a fine point right there.
I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Every time I paint, you've seen me say this. Why am I doing this to myself? Every time.
Because you always want to step up a notch. You're like, that's great, but if I do like these 15 other steps, it'll be even better.
And then I'm sitting here going, why is this taking so long? Oh, yeah, because I decided to shoot myself in the foot. Yeah, check that out.
Nice. Now, I used to take old brushes and I'd cut out most of the bristles to get like just 3 or 4 hairs to get the really fine details on stuff. Do you do that, or do you do something different?
It's not a bad idea. For some of these brushes that are going bad, like this one, I wouldn't mind doing that.
No, this is how this brush comes. It's super
Literally like that. Okay, yeah. And that's probably higher quality than trimming it down and just going to one.
Trimming it down does help, though. If like with this one, if I wanted to make it finer, I can do that. I can trim this off a little more to make it even finer.
Welcome back, Stardust.
Welcome back, Jan. This is the most. I just wanted to see how this green looked. The Feywild green. And it does not disappoint as far as greenness goes.
Perfect. All those little spots are done now.
And I'm curious, do you think Bashil and Horus will get along? I've been wondering about how the Moonanites and Pi will get along lately.
Well, Horus is an Aarakocra. He's from the forest and stuff too. Bashir wouldn't have a problem with him. He's
You
probably
both have a lot in common. You both lost all your family, except he just recently found one of it. due to evil forces. Like his whole family was wiped out.
Yeah, like, no, I think we would get along just fine.
I mean, you got to remember, Horus was basically one in a poker game. So there's that.
Yeah.
The Topic Bass basically took pity on this poor little Okoko was going around. It's like, oh my god, this guy's gonna get destroyed. And he won him. He cheated for him, but he won him.
Much like real life, the way Tom acts with Kenny.
All right.
What am I doing? Literally.
But if the bird person is rude to Bashiel, Bashiel will proceed to mess with him.
Bashiel is...
He is my ranger that I play with the Moonanites. He's a Horizon Walker.
I have no clue what that is. It's a subclass?
Yeah, it's a subclass. And so I pretty much, if anything's within a certain radius of me, I get to activate an ability called Planar Warrior, and it turns all my damage that turn to force damage. And I add a D8 to it.
Is it UA or?
No, it's official.
It's official.
It's one of the new classes that came out for Hunters as a subclass because how bad Rangers were back in the original.
I know. Especially the
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
Yeah, you need a little tweaking, a little bit of...
Let me get this straight. My beast that I just got will forever remain as just 2d4 or 1d4 on the claws forever, and that's it. And it requires my bonus action to use it, and
I think Nova and Lilislor might be cool with one another. Kaz is a sweet baby angel and would probably play well with everyone. This is true.
I don't know Nova. Tell me about Nova.
She is a cleric of Saloon. She worships the Moon Maiden.
She's a city girl.
Elyssalor will be totally fine with that.
She likes finer things as well.
Does she want a nice cape? Because I think we can find her a nice crushed velvet purple with silver moons. Crescent moons, perhaps full moons, but I think crescent moons are more it. And then perhaps we can do like silver braided or woven vines along the edges for, just saying. Just
throwing that out there.
I'm more wondering what Kai's going to think when she finds out her family has been weaponized to defend Fandalen. Even the kids. Her aunts and uncles.
Oh, that reminds me.
Nieces and nephews.
Elyssalor went and placed an order for the sword bag for...
she is more fond of blue, but sounds perfect.
We can go with blue. Like a midnight blue. Did you see what I did there?
Which, if anyone in T-Pie needs leather working stuff done, but she'll be more than happy to do it.
There's a specific sword backpack person.
Kara.
There's a specific person who makes sword backpacks that I'm referring to. Because Elyssalor told Gorn.
I forgot her name from the Mighty the Fortal.
Yeah. I don't remember her name either, but he was going to trade her a little bit of Evermead for it.
Oh my god. That would pay the price. I think that would have a positive effect.
Yeah. That way Justice can have an elven bag that has a little hint of dwarven mithril in it as well. Embrace both of his heritages.
So right now, Team Pi was negotiating with the Platinum Dragons. The Metallic Dragons. I think it went relatively well.
Team Pies?
Yep.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, it was just it was Liz, Scott. Who else was there?
I think Kenny was there.
Kenny. It was Kenny. Yep. And it went relatively well. I am stumped. I don't know what to call this guy.
Are you still doing the polar bear?
No. Polar bear's done. You know what? I think I'll do the evolution of the bear. Make it easier for me. Wait for this primer to dry, and then I'll start painting over it. What color to make the arm? I think I'd just make it steel. Metallic.
You could, but that's kind of a cop-out. Sorry.
Damn it, why would you do
Sorry.
that? Why would you do that to me? Put that thought in my mind.
20 years of friendship does that?
Yeah, it does.
I knew exactly what to say to push your buttons on that.
Damn it.
I
guess I could give it a try.
You didn't just push the button. You elbow dropped
silver.
it like Macho Man Randy Savage, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I could do like a gold trim around the edges.
Yeah.
And then the symbol in the center could be blue. God damn you. Anula might like Horus. Bright, pretty thing, or anyone that is particularly shiny, like Tenchi or Neela. Ooh, she might like Lith because of Rosemary. Oh! Yeah, Rosemary, the name of her green dragon wormling.
Then Brina will have to name hers.
What's Brina thinking for her wormling?
Well,
pardon
if she went with Rosemary,
Cilantro?
Dill. Or Sage.
Ooh.
Time.
Ooh.
Okay, I thought Sage for a second, but Sage is too
Basil.
Basil. She could be Basil. Like, so
He.
if she named her, or he, yeah.
Yeah.
If I was referring to Liz, I was gonna say if she named her dragon Rosemary, then you have to use one of the other cardinal seasonings.
Yeah.
But then again, like
Allspice?
allspice is kind of
Nutmeg? No,
nutmeg.
string away.
Anise star.
Thyme?
Time seems kind of inappropriate.
Wasabi?
Horseradish.
I don't know. Disappointing. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to play it tonight or play something. I'm assuming you had one of your one shots ready to go.
I had a
for us
one
for
shot ready to
tonight.
go.
Yeah.
I had the one with the Underdark one I wanted to get ready. I was going to create characters for you guys.
So we could finally.
Yeah, I have some characters in mind. I just had to stat them out. A real eclectic bunch. It was going to be great.
I wonder how Pazort's 11 are doing. So when you say platinum dragons, you mean literal platinum dragons, or like is this like a street gang in Waterdeep that's called the Platinum Dragons?
No, like literal metallic, like the wisest and leaders of each metallic dragon. So you have the leader of the copper, the bronzes, the silver. Platinum would be Bahamut, and there's only him. So
Yeah, yes.
There could only be one.
and gold. You had all five. I'm missing one. 6. Copper, bronze,
Copper, bronze, brass,
brass, silver, gold. 5.
You could do, if you want to do the offshoot, you can do steel. Or like iron.
And then gray, and then purple dragons, and then I
Yeah.
think there's like a gem dragon as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of other ones.
Well, there's a bunch of different gem dragons because you have all the different gems for them. Whew, and that's... Whew, that's flavor crown.
Yeah, we won't get into that. That's a lot.
That is flavor country.
Fairy dragons, all kinds.
But what
I
about
want a pseudo dragon. Just a tiny little dragon. They're awesome.
what about everybody's favorite dragons, the astral dragons?
Oh my god.
What about them?
Astral dragons are hands down the most wicked, and not like wicked like
Seraph
evil,
is not
but
wicked. What are you talking about?
they're like wicked strong is what I was trying to
Oh,
say.
okay,
Like
all right.
freaking
I don't know if Seraph's wicked strong or he must be holding back, but Brina's sure he's a dragon. And
what was it,
astral
breath weapon
dragon.
again? Or breath weapon?
Probably.
I think it like reduces your intelligence to like 0 or something. I forget.
Sounds about right, because you need intelligence to move in the astral plane, and if you don't have any, you're dead to begin with, but you also can't move, so it does kind of make sense.
Yeah, Nova would probably cry if she met the green dragon.
Well, which
no.
one?
She was traumatized. So
She was pretty much held hostage.
By a green dragon?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Here we go again. Just because green dragons killed Horus's family and held, your cleric hostage does not mean that they're evil. Come on.
I'm not saying that they're all evil. It's just prior experiences have not been good.
Side note, Ruckus New Year. Looking forward to all the shenanigans that are possible, especially with the system set up down here for gaming.
I can loan you the GameCube tap.
Nargle?
There is a tap for connecting GameCube controllers to the Switch through the USB port.
Like Wavebirds?
Yes, sir. We've already tested it and confirmed it works.
For those who don't know, the Wavebird was, in my humble opinion, the first really good wireless controller ever made for any console ever. It came out for the GameCube way back in... God, when did the GameCube come out?
Jesus, I was a
2003.
kid.
2002, 2003, yeah. GameCube, which basically was the box. Look at the Xbox Series X. Make it a square instead of rectangle. That was GameCube. And
It was filled with all my happiness and memories.
so
Okay.
many great games for that. The best Mario Kart game that was created for the GameCube. Mario Kart Double Dash, where one person would drive and another person would ride in the back, like just standing up, and they'd have the items. They'd launch them at people, or they would like backhand and smack the cars next to them. Oh man! And you had to work like a team to bring the blue spark. Well, back then the blue sparks were the sparks you wanted. So when the driver power slides, the one in the back had to go left and right in the analog stick to build up the sparks, and then once you got blue, which were the best ones back then, kick off the you release it and then you boost forward. That took precision, man, and that game was so much fun. The best time I had in Mario Kart ever was when we took two of our GameCubes, connected one to one TV, another to another TV in the living room, and one in the dining room. We set up a different CRT because we had no flat screens then. We had to use a crossover cable to hardwire to link both GameCubes to each other, and we had 8-player Mario Kart Double Dash going. It was glorious. It was so much fun.
Getting all the specialty hardware to do things like that used to be such an
act of
adventure.
God.
Well, literally, it was like,
It was like a rite of passage.
You had to know that one guy who had the foresight to buy that item that was available at the store for maybe the first 6 months to a year the console was out. It had no use whatsoever because nobody would ever use it because maybe one game supported it, and then suddenly everybody wants to play this one specific game. It was kind of like the original Game Boy, which had the 4-way link.
Mm-hmm.
Well, usually people just use the 1-to-1 link, but there was a 4-way link that one kid would have. He was like the most popular kid in the neighborhood once people figured it out. But it was too late to buy it because it was long since gone and moved off the shelves because they couldn't sell it at the store.
I remember back in the day with the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, I'd link those things together. We played Command and Conquer.
Those were the days, my
That was
friend.
a lot
We
of
thought
fun,
they'd
man.
never end.
Big CRT television sets, like back to back at each other, because no screen looking. Back to
Yeah.
back.
Don't look at. Stop looking at my
We
screen.
play across from each other. So
I'm
I'm
not.
sitting, staring at my TV. You're on the opposite side, facing me, staring at your TV. Both PlayStations are linked together in a link cable, and we're playing this RTS, Command and Conquer, which was great. I think Westwood Studios was the game that originally made Command and Conquer before EA absorbed them like the Borg, and yeah.
They borged them all
Oh my
right.
god.
Yeah, they bored them
I think
sideways, bro.
They released all their original games for free online. I don't know if they're compatible with current Windows systems or whatever. If you can look it up on Steam, check it out. You can see the early days of RTS. My very favorite, 96 or 97 is when this RTS came out. For the PC, my favorite one, because of how customizable it was too, Total Annihilation. And I love this one because back in the day when you had your armies you were building, you'd build your warplanes. The warplanes, they weren't really planes in the sense that they would just fly and shoot, and there was no real dogfights in the sky above you. Not with Total Annihilation. It was everything was 3D rendered. Mind you, like 96, 97, everything was 3D rendered. And if you build fighter planes, you can have them, you can set them up to guard your bombers. Basically, you just select a group of planes and click like the guard option on the bomber, and they would circle the bombers. And the moment the bomber would get engaged by another plane, those fighter planes you had escorting would swarm, and then you'd have a dogfight in the sky. So much fun. Just looking at it was great. AI wasn't so hot, but when you played with other players, man, fantastic.
One of my favorite games to play back in the day was Empire Earth. Have you ever played that on PC?
Yes, I know that one. Yep.
Did you ever play the expansion for it?
No.
They actually took you all the way to space in the expansion. Yeah, and you would have all these digital robots and stuff like that duking it out in space, dude. It was so amazing.
Space. We are a family again.
Because what you'll do is, like, if you play multiplayer on it, you would have pretty much giant asteroids that you would do all your stuff on. And it's so funny to start off in the nomadic age on an asteroid. So you have caveman bonking iron. And then once you got to the, because you had the digital age was what ended the first game, but then the expansion took you to the nano age. And you had like all these automatic farms and stuff like that that did all the stuff for you. But there was a special robot unit that could teleport. It had energy and it would bamf to places. And what you would do is you would fly your transport ship to someone's base. And when they sent all their units to try to attack them, you would send out a wave of just random fodder just to fight to cause them to do stuff. You would then drop all those units behind them and then bamf them into the middle of someone's facility and just watch them wreak havoc, destroying all the buildings. Oh man, that was so much fun. People used to get so mad at that. I was the only person who understood that that was a thing, and I would be the only person who would set towers and stuff like that as defense in the middle of my town. So it's like, oh yeah, you want to teleport to the middle of my home base? I'll just watch.
I dare you, do it!
Then you get unloaded on by giant laser towers.
I dare you. I double dare you.
And that was one of the only games where they actually went through like the whole historic fights and stuff like that, to like World War I, World War II and stuff like that. And you were creating siege engines and stuff based on that time frame. Like one of the missions, you actually got to play as the Red Baron.
I remember my buddy Ian was the one that told me about the game originally.
Which one?
Empire Earth.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Total Annihilation, because I know Ian told us all about that
Oh
one.
yeah, he told about Total Annihilation. I miss Ian.
I mean, you say that like he's dead. He's not, but he's just...
His schedule's locked down like mine is, so I get it.
I mean, this is the worst time of year for him for the next couple of days.
Yep.
That's how my schedule is right now too. The end of the year, everything just gets slammed.
Thinner brush time.
Are you guys ready for the new Baldur's Gate game?
Oh my god, I can't wait. Coming up for the Stadia? Yeah, buddy.
I don't know if I'm ready for it or not. Which game engine is it going to use?
That I don't know yet. I'm waiting to see what they announce.
I know Stadia has a lock on it. I don't know if I think it might be exclusive for the Stadia. I gotta see.
I haven't heard them announce any exclusive titles yet, and especially if it's the next Baldur's Gate, I doubt it'll be exclusive because of all the PC guys.
True.
You mean the glorious PC Master Gaming Race?
Yes, there's no other.
I said that wrong on purpose.
Mm-hmm. But again, there is no other. I just want a Half-Life 3. That's all I want.
Oh.
You might
Yeah.
get Half-Life 2 Episode 2 Part 2, but they will never give us anything with the number 3.
I know.
They're afraid of that. There won't even be a Portal 3.
I don't know what Gabe's thing is with the number 3.
You know, as I understand it, people at Valve work on whatever they feel like working on, which is all well and good.
Well, they have Steam, so they're pulling in buttloads of cash all the time. So.
Well, the Steam UI has not been improved at all over the last 15 years.
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing.
And I think that's going to catch up with them.
Just a bigger brush for this. We shall see.
Microsoft tried the Games for Windows Live thing. That did not work out for them very well. Sorry, Microsoft. It was, I don't know. We'll see. If Stadia or the Xbox Prime, or whatever you want to call, what's their service called? The streaming service?
xCloud.
xCloud, that's it. xCloud do deliver on their promises, and if they do so at a price point that can dethrone Steam, then Gabe N's days may be numbered. That is all a big if, though.
They probably have a bunch of titles just sitting there waiting. They're waiting for something to probably hit where they have to force a change.
Who's that? Steam?
Yep.
Maybe. It's
Which, business-wise, it'll be smart for them. Why release all this new stuff and stuff like that when they could just keep it on the back burner as a solid cash grab?
I suppose. Oof.
Yeah, just getting these little looks.
Yikes.
Supposedly there's also a rumor going around where they might be remaking Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon?
Yes, I don't know if you ever played that on the PS1.
Don't think so.
Heard great things about it. Didn't play it. I know those who have. I think James played it and he loved the hell out of it, if I'm not mistaken.
I have it still. I actually have a PS1 copy of it at home. It is one of the best games ever made. Like, ever. It was 3 or 4. It was 4 discs on PS1, like way back when. But it was an RPG, but the battle system was really awesome because what it was, it's as you would run up to attack, you had a square that would appear. Yeah, I need a legend. Yeah, same thing, Stardust. I'm waiting for it too. But you would have a square over the target, and then you have a greater square that kind of falls in and collapses on that. And when it lined it up perfect, you would hit X, and it will cause your combo to continue.
Okay.
And as you level up, you get stronger and stronger combos that were really long.
Why does this sound like Vagrant Story?
It might have been a little bit similar with the
It's just
combat.
Boom, 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 boom. You had to time all of it.
Oh yeah. I
Every
remember
single combo, and it was...
And the thing is, though, that enemies had a chance to counter it. So instead of it being X that you would have to push circle to continue your combo and stuff like that. But each character, they were pretty much the reincarnations of dragoons They were like ancient warriors to help stop these giant creatures from destroying Earth and stuff like that. So
As
like,
you do, yeah.
So as you would do these combos, you had a gauge that filled up, and when it got filled, you got to transform into your dragoon. So you're like the main character is called Dart. He's the fire dragoon. So he would get this giant flaming armor on his body with these giant wings, and he would start flying. And he had abilities based on the element that you had. So each character had their own element. But it was amazing because it was one of the few PS1 games that not only was it fully 3D rendered, but all the cutscenes had audio to them, like actual voiceover audio. And it
For
had
a PS1, that's huge.
How many discs did it have?
4.
Makes sense.
But the game itself was amazing to play because it got to in the very first disc it shows they always throughout the game they made mention of a war that happened 1,000 years ago where the old dragoons fought off all these bad things to save everything, right? Or 10,000 years ago, I'm sorry. And they show a video of that fight between the dragoons and these giant they're called Visraj creatures. And
Nerd Boner?
oh dude, oh my god, it was amazing. But there's one part in that scene where they're in a giant building that's collapsing, and the whole upper half of this skyscraper is being held up by one of the Earth Dragoon. He's holding it up, and there's a Visraj climbing the side of this building, charging a like this eye laser to kill him and the other Dragoon that's in that building with him. And the other Dragoon, she has a bow, and she's...
Are there spoilers?
Hmm?
Are these spoilers?
No.
Okay, cool.
This is something that happens in the storyline. As they make mention of this battle
In the
over and
intro?
over and over again.
Cool.
Yeah, like literally throughout the whole game, and then they hit this point where you actually get to visually see the battle. And the chick with the bow, she pulls it back, and she's looking at this Visraj that's about to destroy them in this building. She's like, "I feel no pain," and she just unloads on this thing and shoots it right in the face. Dude, it's one of those things where playing the game and seeing the storyline for it is insane. Like the magic items that you get, like let's say if you had one called Spark, it was an electrical attack, you would have to mash the X button to make it stronger. So your character would throw it, and then you would have to mash the X button. As you mash it, you would see it grow in intensity. And if you literally just threw it, it would do a basic amount of damage, and that was it. But if you actually mashed, it gave you that reward where it's like, if you took the time to try to get this extra bit out of it, you can do more damage. So, and that was with items too, dude. It was so kick-ass.
She got stuck at the end. She got stuck at the end of Dragoon.
Yeah, that was one of those games that if you knew how to get through a lot of the fights, you can burn through the game quick. But the learning curve on the game was intense. Like there was times where like you would know when you were under level for a zone. Like it was like that, dude. It was crazy.
My armored Mr. Snuggles is coming along.
Hug for snuggle.
Yeah, that's right. Spoiler alert, because I kind of figured you were giving him armor. Mr. Snuggles in armor, his other form, which is basically the Trinket mini, which is perfect for those who know Critical Role. I knew you guys were giving him armor. I was ready.
Well, look who his dad is, of course.
Alright. Lead Belcher. Here we go.
Excellent choice, sir.
Yeah, playing Legend of Dragoon was pretty much playing a really long D&D campaign. Yeah, the only reason why the game didn't really get known by a lot of people is they didn't really do much as far as the advertising for it and stuff because it was made by Squaresoft back when they were Squaresoft.
Yeah. Before they became
Not
Squeenix.
Squeenix.
Yep. And after they were just Square.
Hey, that's right. Wow, that goes way back.
Yeah.
That's right, kids. We're old.
Yeah, it was Square, then Squaresoft, then Square Enix. You gotta take your eyes off of it.
Yeah, but I want someone else to just look at it. Give me feedback.
Let's see what you got.
It's been a long time. The orc's coming along okay too,
So
but
the cool thing with the cape you could do on the peaks and the valleys.
Use
So
a
the
wash.
peaks. Well, a wash to help get the valleys, like a green wash if you can. Not critical if you don't, but an earth shade would be good for that if you want to do some wash for that guy. But on the peaks of the cape, a slightly lighter green.
lighter green,
Yeah.
just trace it down.
A very thin coat. You might even have to apply 3 or 4 coats. It's how thin.
Or you can actually apply some of the thinner to thin it out for you.
True.
Because if it goes on too dark and too heavy, it's not going to look good.
Yeah, I'm dealing with.
It's coming on really good, man. I like it.
I mean, for the first one in a long time. I mean, I can see a lot of places where I blob too much. But I mean, he's better than I was expecting. Cleaning up the areas where I got a little extra green is not going too well.
There was another game on the PS1 that a lot of people didn't know about, and that was The Legend of Legaia.
That was a good
I know
one.
The name.
Yeah, I remember that one. I don't remember if I beat it, but that was a good one. I think I,
have
still
that
have
one.
it.
I have it here on PS1 too at the house. I still have the disc.
Do you have a black on your tray?
Yeah, it's over here somewhere. On my
Like
tray.
actually one that you're using.
Oh, this is a black over here.
Alright. I'm going to steal it.
That's all dried out though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
just drop some thinner in it. We go. Here, watch. Just swirl that around.
Doesn't look to be taking the plastic though, you know. It was worth a shot. I think it.
Oh, you got a wash out of it though.
This is true. It's too far gone right now.
Mhm.
It's all right.
Did you know they made a sequel to Legend of Legaia?
I don't remember. Yeah, I mean.
It was it came out on the PS2. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about it was, you know how you would get all the creatures?
How?
There was monsters that had special badges on them that when you fought them, there was a chance that your character would absorb them, and you can summon them later on.
Mm-hmm.
In the second part, they took that whole out, and each character got an element that they represented, and they had a spirit guardian pretty much that represented it, and that spirit guardian is what they would summon into battles and stuff, which sucked. It was really a really bad cop out. Like, the game itself was fun. You still had the same combat system where you had a spirit gauge, and when you charge it up, you got to put in the D-pad inputs as directions, and based on what directions you put in, certain ones would be combos for the character. So like one of them was like up, right down for the main character, and he would literally run up to a creature, jump into the air, and come down with this fire, like his body would be on fire, and he would just elbow him in the head.
God, I forgot so much about that game. I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
Remember Fahad was the one that lent us the game. V played a lot of it, my sister.
I miss those days. Having 2 adults working full-time jobs to support you, so you had time to play the video games.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Best days ever.
I could have gone white, but I went with black on his hair.
There were so many good games on the PS1, man. Just like reminiscing about all those old games they played.
Bushido Blade.
Bushido Blade was
And the
amazing.
PS1 was awesome.
Yep.
Played the hell out of it. I used to love going into. There was a mode where you could open up the whole map and be you and another person playing, and you could run around the entire map. And again, for those who don't know, Bushido Blade was basically a sword fighting game, but it was realistic. There was no health bars.
That your dad totally owned you out of.
Oh my god, like crazy. So you struck a mortal blow on someone. If your sword hits someone deep enough and hard enough, they're just dead. There's no health bars. So you could parry, you could dodge, you could do all kinds of things.
Or if you knew the trick to throwing the hidden dagger.
Yeah, there's that. To stun him and then run in and stab him and kill him.
No, there was a character who, the one that had the throwing fan. If you actually landed that at the right time, you can get a one-shot kill on people with it.
You could.
And my little
You
brother,
had to hit him just right, though.
yeah, my little brother would never understood the timing on that, and I would nail him with it every time. He would get
My
so
favorite
mad.
guy in there was Utsusemi. He was a beast with the katana, and he could use the Nadachi very well. I remember there was an urban myth, basically, where they weren't sure if it was the case, but some people saying it might be, that if you go through this one mode, where basically it's like a survival mode, and survive 100 rounds.
Yes, I did it.
So did I. You could unlock the dude with the gun.
Both of them. Hokyoku Tsubame and then the other one. But there was also...
But it was a lie. You couldn't do it. On Bushido Blade 1. And the second one, maybe. Two you could.
There was also, though, if you played through it, you could unlock the... were they the Kabuki guys? I don't remember what they were. They were... Hang on a second. Yeah. The Kabuki the characters. So they had... They were just... where is it? Okay. I don't see any pictures. They were, they were just normal warriors. They just had different outfit. Nothing special to them.
Another one of my favorite PS1 titles, Soul Reaver.
That was a good one. The sequels weren't as good.
Because they forced it to be Kane, and as like the main, they ended the Legacy of Kane series with Kane being this super awesome protagonist and stuff like that. He was more an anti-hero than anything, but I just hated how they ended Raziel's story. Because he had the other half of that blade, he literally just becomes a full Spectre and gets absorbed by Kane's blade.
Spookter.
Yeah. I'm just like, he hated Kane. Like, Kane literally ripped this dude's wings off his back. And then you go through this whole thing of him. Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
I'm his friend.
Fred. He got better.
Got better. Actually, ended up playing the game for my mom. She was notorious for starting games and handing the controller off to the kids when things were too hard. That's how I ended up playing Devil May Cry 2. Ooh. I only played a little bit of Devil May Cry, not a whole lot of that. Good game from what I played.
I never got the name. I know that it was kind of a pun on Devil May Care, but I never really got past that.
It's a fun game. Or at least the first one was. The second one I was kind of meh about. Then the third one kicked back in. The funny thing that a lot of people didn't know about Devil May Cry 3 was the normal mode for Devil May Cry 3 in the US was actually based off the Japanese hard mode.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
The normal mode?
Yeah, they actually increased the difficulty.
That's one of the rare times that's ever happened in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Usually it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm. I guess my question to that is why?
Actually, I don't even think they ever answered that. My whole guess is the fact that it was so popular in the West and people were just destroying the game.
Maybe. Well, I think... Yeah. It's more of a yellow than a green that I put on there on top.
Why are you so hot to paint polar bear in armor?
Because they have a big head and little arms.
That's true. Okay. For my T-Rex.
Master?
Yee.
The one thing about streaming that's difficult when it comes to snacks, all my snacks are chips, crunch, crunch, crunch. Bad microphone. Bad for microphones.
Sorry, microphone. The other thing I used to have trouble painting was horses. In my mind, horse is brown. Basically everything with brown I was doing terrible at.
You and earth tones are not friends.
Not. Well, it's not like I had any training or anything. I just was winging it. I was a kid trying to paint. No clue how. And only vague instruction from other people.
From what I see what you accomplished, you did damn good, my friend.
On those ones, I guess. I mean, like, I know I could have done better on the gems, but, like, I didn't have any of the tools. I didn't have specialized brushes. Every time I experimented with washes, I overdid it. And it was just like, I just poured ink all over it, essentially.
Hey, washes are a beautiful trap. They make everything look really, really nice, but if you're not paying attention, you go, oh god.
Yeah.
What have I done? What have I done? I'm gonna let that dry for a bit while I go get myself another drink. You guys want anything?
I'm okay right now. Thank you.
No gracias.
You know, this Diet Peachy Snapple for the Keurig is actually really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to love that one. Glad you liked it. It's just gotten a lot more use by
Update
putting
on
it
my
here.
little dude.
I appreciate that.
He's
Oh,
getting
damn.
there. He's getting
Nice.
there. Yep. Okay, perfect. Now I need to let that dry for a little bit. Because then I have to do all the little cracks and stuff to show that he actually is emanating a glowing light.
So that's a whole nother level.
Yes.
Because, can I see it for a moment?
Yeah. Careful with the top because it's still wet.
See, that's already done in my eyes.
No, that guy still needs some work. Because his underbelly is going to look exactly like the outside, but what I'm actually going to do is the same color that I'm going to use for the cracks on his back to show that glowing pulse. I'm going to mix it in with that dark color so you're going to get this more muddied glow tone on his belly. So it's like the light's actually emanating from the inside through the cracks and stuff. So
Again, in my eyes, that's done. 4 colors, you're good. You're going for something totally different. I get it.
it's honestly because I hate myself. That's what it is. That's what it really is. Gotta make it do this, and I gotta make it do that, and it needs to look like that, and then this. And then again, 4 hours pass, and I go, why did I do this to myself?
It's kind of like when Patrick paints.
He's freaking amazing. So what do you want to do tomorrow, Bill? You want to roll out in the morning somewhere? Seems like you were thinking about going to get more plastic glue, which I'm down for that.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm considering. I'd like to glue my Blood Bowl team, if for no other reason than to glue my Blood Bowl team finally. Not that I think we'll ever play it again, but
I would like to play.
I'd like it to be out of the box and glued because then there's one less barrier to playing.
If we could get a league going just amongst the ruckus.
I mean, I'd
That'd
be
be
willing to
great.
play it here. That's another thing you could do for streams.
Oh my god. Blood Bowl is such a fun game.
I don't know if Kenny'd be up for it.
I think he might like it. Blood Bowl is one of those games that teach you to hate the dice, to not trust the dice. If you ever believed in the dice before, Blood Bowl would teach you, do not believe in those dice.
If you can fail, you will
Yeah.
fail at the worst time, in the worst possible way, and your best character will die.
It's like, you start the game, my dice love me, these are my lucky dice too. All dice are the devil, is basically what that game does to you.
I mean, you're rolling d6s, so there's actually a really good chance you're going to roll a 1. There's only 6 possible outcomes. And then you have to spend a reroll, and there's still a really good chance you roll a 1 again. And the reroll, it's not like you take the best of 2. You take the new one. So if you rolled a 2 and you're like, oh, it's not good enough, and you want to reroll, you just killed yourself. Congratulations.
Can't make this guy's dry.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Booger Brown. I'm gonna borrow one of your browns. Yeah, deeper brown.
Like, what's a good leather brown? I think owlbear brown.
I was going with it.
Bugbear? More of a leathery thing?
Bugbear and owlbear.
Yeah, maybe this one, yeah. Well, you always want to go darker, then you can always go later. The way at least that's the way I paint.
Mm-hmm.
Very little. 'Cause I'm just doing the leather straps and his armor. Because why not?
You know say.
Say that to myself at least 7 or 8 times a day.
I feel like a sniper. Just hold your breath, then go to feet.
Mm-hmm. I've been really lucky every time I've painted with you.
How so?
Because I have really shaky hands. It comes with all the military stuff. And every time I've painted with you so far, just knock on wood, my hands have been pretty good for this.
Because I have a very calming voice. When I talk.
Like this, it's like an angel. Like an angel, they say.
I'm helping. But I'm glad. That just means you relax when you're here. And you know what? That's a good thing. Oh shit. Ah! Gah!
Throw it out and start over. It's the only way, Raoul. Just
It's the
throw it
only
out.
way.
Just throw it out, start over.
Do nothing, Julie. Do nothing.
If only that was true for many things in life, life would be so much easier.
Just throw it out and start over.
How the fuck they want me to get underneath this? Fucking bastards when you cast this thing.
I feel like there is someone like that when they design these minis and stuff, just kind of sit there and be like, hey, let's see these nerds paint
Paint
this.
There you go.
Just sitting there with like one of those old like 1920 movies villains mustaches.
Exactly. You son of a bitch. Ooh, that looks good.
Wouldn't it be hard to paint? That's the point.
Exactly, my boy.
Somewhere, someone in the world shall suffer because of my creation.
Get it, art is pain, but why?
They want it difficult.
This is what you guys get when you ask for hyperrealism.
A little bit of flare color there on him, purple. Nothing special.
Nice.
I'm not happy with the accents on the orc because I could not really see the detail on his armor to do it right. So he's got, well, you'll see when you look at it. I think... I'm gonna blame that one on my eyes.
Okay. Leather straps, done-ish.
It's pretty good. I can see that you need little tweaks here and there for this, but this actually came out pretty good.
What would you point to first as a tweak that's necessary?
Just seeing where the lines end on certain parts of the model.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the brown right here that you have on her stomach.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't quite go right around him correctly.
Yeah, it comes towards like on the actual pants and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's really hard to see a lot of those little lines. Like even with this dude, like there's a lot of little lines on him that are super hard for me to tell.
I've been following him, but like my eye blurs out for just the wrong moment, and then that's it. It's over. If only I could have bionic eyes. I mean, for a non-character figure, I think he'll do fine. As you know, he's an NPC for current party I've got. As far as elf goes, oh yeah, those were all done with undiagnosed astigmatism too, by the way. So yeah. Let your polar bear come along.
Really? You gotta pick that line. There we go. Managed to thread the needle on that one.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I believe, as they say in Waterdeep, is it soup?
You never know. I mean, in the Castle District, it is.
Ah,
In the Docks District, maybe.
depends on who's asking.
Exactly. I gotta do something more with this armor. I could give the trim a paint if I wanted to torture myself.
Now, if you really wanted to torture yourself, you get green stuff, and you'll give them little ice shards and stuff.
Okay. Oh, and you got to get like those ones that are colored crystals that use an ink wash on, so that it has a.
No.
It has like blue, you could do like a dark color on the bottom of it or on the opposite side, and then
Or you
wash
could get
it
like a
in blue.
quartz crystal, and kind of like
Oh,
break it and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that says polar bear, brr, but with crystal.
This is that monotone face you made when you said it too. Just brr. That's what sold it for me.
Polar bear.
His armor, see, it's. I mean, it looks.
How many
like
watchers
metal.
do we have? Do we have just one so far all day?
We have 4 watchers.
Who's-
Thank you.
Who's watching?
Technically, I'm one of them, and Jen's the other. So there's
Oh.
2 other people watching us.
Hi,
and
other people.
Thank you, other people, for watching us.
Hi, other people.
We get 5 every now and again,
Really?
which is nice. Yeah.
I'd like to know who these people are because they're the real heroes to
They
me.
are the real heroes.
I'm more happy with how the elf turned out.
I'm just happy we're getting some paint on these minis, man.
But his lines are easier to follow. That and he has a giant cape, so there's that.
A what?
Yeah, well, a giant cape. A hooded cloak, if you prefer. It's 11:20. Do I want to start another one?
If you need to get primer down on one, you can.
Oh, they're all primed now. I went through.
Oh, wow, that one's almost done.
I mean, I'll need to clean it up, but
Oh, you got the gray skin. Okay, never
yeah,
mind.
he is gray skinned.
I thought those.
I can probably put dabs of white on the feathers since they've got purple down now. I'm not a fan of the.
Argrex Earthshade, if you want to wash.
Yeah, I'm not a fan for the coloration of his armor right now, so I do need to clean that. He's too. Well, I tried to. Yeah, it's just. Ugh.
If you give me the Nuln oil, it's the wash. It should be on the left over there somewhere. It's good wash for metals. Me! Hello, other people. Oh, a fifth person came in. Hello, number 5. We are painting minis
We were waiting for you, number 5. It's about time.
this whole time.
About time you got here. Yeah, I wasn't too sure how the gray primer would look once it was on, but because it looked like it was covering up a bit of detail, right? But then as it dried, it
You get to actually see it all.
yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I was really worried about that. Do you even do for a giant miniature space hamster? I know it's like cream and a brown, but then like
Think Hamtaro.
what do you do for the hidden claws and the blood of his enemies? I think Hamtaro was based off of Boo.
Well, he basically goes for the eyes mostly, so is that...
He does go for the eyes. Go for the eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes. Although my favorite is when you ask Minsk how he snuck Boo in with him. If he was stripped.
What did you say?
What?
You don't remember that from Baldur's Gate 2? How did you sneak Boo in here if they stripped you of everything? And Minsk's response is, there are certain questions better left unanswered. What happens between a ranger and his pet is their own business. Or something to that effect. It's just like, oh man, I don't want to know.
Oh, that poor little dude.
Boo was Minsk's follower. His companion animal. He needed him to calm him down after the death of his witch. It was a therapy thing.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
But also, if you know anything about the mechanics of the game, Boo gave Minsk rages. He was an equipped item you could never remove.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I didn't know that either until Violetta showed me it. It was a trick in the game so that they could give a ranger barbarian rages. If anyone else equipped Boo somehow, the engine would give that character rages just like Minsk. The more you know.
Okay, here we go. It's another little update.
Alright, now he's done, right?
Nope. I wish.
That Nuln oil did great on the armor. See, it's always... Nuln oil is perfect for Metallic armor.
It
Love
looks from this angle. It looks like just a solid gray shell to me. Maybe I need a light.
It's
Or-
a turtle.
Is it something that softens up as it dries? Okay, never mind. It looks so much better in the light. He's right, though. It is missing quartz crystals and snow.
Oh my god.
Look.
I'll have you building terrains before you know it.
eBay quartz crystals for miniature bear. Oh, look.
Wow, there's an entire section here on eBay. Quartz. Wow. This is very specific.
Actually, it has a filter. I could have just checked the boxes.
Why didn't you just use the quartz for bear crystal or quartz crystal for bear filter?
I gotta do more with his fur, though. His eyes.
Yeah. Did you get down a good white base coat?
For a polar bear? That's crazy talk.
Who paints polar bears white? Honestly.
God, I don't know.
Oh.
Well, you.
What does he know?
I've played the games he's created. Graphics are crap. Storylines suck. No.
Controls are terrible.
I know, right?
And it's not very stable.
The tutorial lasts 18 years.
Yeah, I guess that does kind of put Final Fantasy X to shame.
Yeah, seriously.
Or not 10, sorry, 13.
What, you did not like 13?
I played it plenty. I played it almost all the way through. I played it to the point where you, quote, beat the game, then wake up and come back and play the game for real now, and then eventually just stop playing it. But I did not enjoy the 10 or 20 hour tutorial. Frankly, I don't know how the heck you got an S rank on every single battle, since it was almost impossible in that first battle. That achievement was just like, how? How do you do that? Okay, Orc. Let's try to clean you up a little bit. I don't want to be. Yeah, well, too bad.
Painting for me is so much easier when you're with someone else in the room. It's like working out, man. It's easier to go to the gym when you got a buddy to go with you.
Yeah, it is. Truth. I think I'm going to need to invest in the magnifying lens to do this stuff anymore.
Dude, yeah, I'll show you the one that I was looking at. I'm going to be picking it up because it's going to definitely help out.
So, Raul, what games are you looking forward to playing most on your new Nintendo Switch?
Oh my god, Brawl. I'm both looking forward to and not looking forward to unlocking everything again.
Well, but you know how to do it.
I know how to do it, and I do it all with Little Mac. That's right, you heard me, Little Mac. Clear the whole thing with that guy. He's my boy.
saw it. You went without sleep. I'm like, all right, hey, I'll see you in the morning. Come down in the morning. You're speaking in tongues.
That was the Little Mac. The only thing I couldn't beat with Little Mac was the final boss, because there's one thing Little Mac doesn't do very well, and that's jumping. And the final boss, one thing he wants you to do a lot of, jumping.
That cheeky bastard.
But yeah. Especially want to check out some of these new fighters that are there. Terry Bogard, for example.
I'm not familiar with the name, sorry.
Terry?
King of Fighters.
King of Fighters, yeah.
Oh, like it's not a game I played, so. I was that boring kid at the arcade who didn't play any game of those games that you guys played. I was just more interested in being there for the experience of being at the arcade and finding the occasional sports game or something.
I think I'm done for now. I could do more, but I'm happy with them. Simple, white for the fur, nothing fancy.
Are you
I
truly
did
happy
all-
with them, though?
I'm not really, but
What you
I
gotta do
could
that's
do more. I could
unmanly.
add like another
though?
20 steps. I could do more with the fur and the claws. I could do more with the armor. I know I could do more with the armor. Right now, I just got the null on there. Is it though? You had to meme me.
I did.
Is it though? All right, Thor. Hello, other people. Yep.
Take a look right now. Still working on it though.
Let me. Got his eyes and his nose and his snout. Oh Jesus, this is awesome.
Right, so, you know.
Dude, I like how this guy looks, man. That's dope.
This is good stuff, man. The perfect dots you got on the tentacles. Where'd you get that brush again?
This is an army painter brush. The army painter.
Yeah, they go up those at Games Plus, right?
They do.
Hmm.
We can go get some of those if you want.
Hmm.
Yeah, because there's definitely I will admit there is in our selection of brushes here a definite lack of fine detail.
Yep.
We have base coat brushes galore, and trying to do detail with base coat is painful. So maybe I left them at home, but I don't think so. Let's see.
Yeah, if you want to make a Games Plus run tomorrow, I'm down to go with you.
If
Games
I
Plus
had
is a
to-
great game. We're in Chicago. They're Mountain Prospect, I want to say.
Yes.
Just a suburb just outside of Chicago. Phenomenal game store. And I always try to support local game stores. The prices might be a little more than Amazon and everything else, but local game stores, I want them to stay around, and Games Plus is just a phenomenal one. If you're ever in the Chicagoland area, check them out. If you love gaming, just make it a part of your visits. It's just a great place to go. Tell them the Ruckus sent you. They'll have no idea what you're talking about.
That's the
Tell
best
them anyway.
part. All right. So
I actually drove past it today while I was doing my delivery route and stuff, and I was like, oh, if I had time.
man, check that out.
I need to get a case of Avernus minis badly. Oh my god, look at that freaking job someone did.
So that's what I have to compare them to.
Oh, Jesus, don't do that.
That's the worst thing you can do as an
I'm
artist.
actually just looking for color inspiration on it.
I mean,
Because I want to get Minsk's
I
color
commissioned
right.
this guy.
And I want to
When I
make
look
sure
at
I
stuff
get
like
his
this-
head tattoo correct, because you got to do that right. Beyond that, I'm not too worried. I mean, he's got a head tattoo, and it is very iconic.
Dude, that thing is so freaking awesome.
That's amazing.
Which one's that?
The commissioned Howler. Just looking at the detail, like the specs on the snout and everything. This guy has the precision of a surgeon.
And that's with a finer brush than I have.
What
sitting
did
there.
that cost you? Más de 50?
Ni recuerdo para todos que yo. I had him do this one and a few others. But I paid more for this one because I
Oh,
wanted
there's more.
I wanted to get the detail in this one perfect, so I paid more for this one. So he took more time with this one.
Yeah.
The Howler, yeah, okay. Trying to call it out. So put it up here. The Howler. I did not paint this. I got it commissioned by someone who's at Games Plus, who's great at painting. And yeah, he did an amazing job with this mini. And in my campaign, that is the Howler. An often referenced but not seen until recently member of the Mighty, a group of a faction of warlocks.
He is a good boy.
The rough spot for me has been I'll be looking at it, and my eyesight, everything will just go
Blur, yeah.
and then back. Have you been having that?
It's just, yeah, I have trouble focusing.
How do you deal with that, Will? Or do you just not have that problem?
Being able to focus on something like that, it takes a lot of time and practice, especially when you're looking at something so small. I've always done art and stuff like that, so I'm used to doing it. It's something that before used to be really hard for me. It's just the more you do it, the easier it gets, to be honest with you.
I hope so.
Because this is one of those things where I've been painting minis for over like 13 years now.
Mm-hmm.
He's being nice, we're blind, there's no hope.
I know. I'm aware. That's why I've just been politely going, mm-hmm.
No, I'm serious. It does. It like when I first started painting, I started painting Warhammer minis for friends and stuff like that. And my first ones were not good, like at all. But they were better than a lot of the other people.
So the not good part, I totally get. It's not that part I'm referring to. I'm referring to the
eye focusing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It takes time. Like when I first started doing this, it was hard to try to focus on something that small. But as time goes on and you keep practicing it, your eyes understand like, okay, we need to focus at this specific point. It's the muscle memory pretty much.
This guy is making me feel better about it, but I know it's all a lie.
I'm serious. I'm very
But he
serious.
sounds so good when he says it, though.
I know, right?
It just makes me want to try,
I just want to believe it.
you know?
It's like when you have a personal trainer and they're like, I know you can do one more, and you're like, nah.
Hang on, I think he can hear us.
That will be your Bob Ross. Okay, don't worry. I got you guys.
Just happy little accidents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that elf's face purple? Happy little accident.
With an alchemy.
Why did you keep
Experiment.
painting? Why does every miniature you have shrubs painted all over it? Well, it's our little secret. That doesn't even make sense.
Everything needs a little happy tree, okay?
What are you talking about? It is literally a treant. What kind of happy little tree does a treant need? Well, it's
It
like
needs a friend.
he had a time where he went on spring break, and he got a little tramp stamp of a happy little tree back there. Kind of makes sense.
And he passed out in the woods. He woke up. Some rogue was carving into him.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Steve was here.
I suspect, in looking at it in retrospect, there are areas that are painted that are actually supposed to be flesh, but I can't tell.
I do like the feathers.
A little white accent on those will probably finish him off, I think. I'm not going to kill myself for perfection while I'm ramping back up again.
Oh yeah, dude. When you're first starting out again, no man. Because if you aim for perfection, you're just going to push yourself away, and you're like, you know what? Why did I even try this
This
again?
is too hard. Yeah, I
Mhm.
know. I'm good with like I said, these are nice for entries back in.
I think this is good enough for now.
I mean, you've been painting longer than me now. What are you talking about? You should do better than that.
Jesus! I'm putting the bear down.
I mean, you can put the bear down, but I mean, isn't that letting Jen down ultimately?
Wow. Jen, you understand me. You're okay, right? This is
You're okay if he doesn't put full effort into it, right?
Jesus.
DM guilt. Oh, DM guilt, so strong.
I mean, he doesn't need to sleep tonight.
What time do we want to get started tomorrow?
I don't know.
Because they open at like 10, right?
Yeah, it's just if you want to go 10, we can like plan.
I know I have to roll out of here at like 3.
Then that's probably not a bad time for us to leave. Is 10. Let's say we depart roughly 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Get there at like 10:30.
Yeah.
Do our shoppings. Get back at like 11:30.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. Yeah, that works. I'm thinking some brushes. I'm thinking
Fine detail brushes.
fine detail brushes, definitely.
Is there no white in here?
I got it over here.
Oh.
Bam.
Carry on, listening.
Try not to do complete white. Maybe mix it with a little purple. This way it's just a lighter shade. Because if it's complete white, it's gonna the contrast is gonna be too much. You need a little bit of a blend.
Right there in the purple.
There you go.
I need the spatula Bob Ross uses.
I need a wet palette. Ryland TV, another D&D streamer, really awesome guy. And I've seen it in other places too, but he really drove the point home saying, hey, wet palette. They're great, really easy. He put some links down on how to make them. The bear's fine. Thank you, Stardust. Thank you.
She said fine. Usually that means people are upset.
That is the female four-letter F word. That's
What's wrong? Nothing.
fine.
Means everything's wrong.
Just a tip.
Just the tips on him.
Or yeah, you get a tip to work. Or just one stripe along one side. Make sure you catch the same side on all of them. I have a reference right here.
You really do. Like, if you wanted to get that bear correct, Coca-Cola is there.
I gotta do blacken the lips according to that. I need an ultra fine pen for that though.
There you go. He has teeth now.
Mandibles. Oh, you see, look at that pearly whites. That's a Colgate smile right there.
Mandibular.
And he's gonna eat your
He has like, it's like he has dentures. Those teeth are so white and perfect.
Give me the high beams.
That carrion crawler had braces when he was younger. You could tell. That's a straight, beautiful Colgate smile.
His mama took care of him.
Bear really is fine.
Went to
But not fine in the girl way. Fine in the usual meaning of the word way. Aw, thank you, Stardust.
That's very kind of you, Jen.
You can see all our implements here on the table. Next thing I'm painting, next session, Kazarak. And then after Kazarak,
Serac.
I haven't painted a Serac. A machine somewhere painted it for me.
It said hand painted. What are you talking about? There's no way it was machine. They wouldn't lie.
Probably the next one I'm going to do is going to be one of my dragons. One of my yeah, I'm going to do
Oh,
one
one
of
of
my
your
dragons.
unpainted primed ones?
Yeah.
From Nolzur's miniatures?
I might, yeah, because I have all of them. I need to buy the Triceratops mini too.
You didn't get that yet?
No, I didn't. I mean, I love my T-Rex. I love how I printed my T-Rex. He's up there somewhere. Middle row on the left. There we go, by the purple large
Yeah.
fairy dragons.
I see him. Hey, did you know druids can turn into T-Rexes? I just want you to know that is actually a valid animal for them to turn into.
If they've seen a T-Rex,
It is a beast.
then they can do it.
If they are familiar with it, why turn into anything but the T-Rex if you can freaking turn into the T-Rex, right?
As long as the CR is within their reach,
It
you
is
could-
at some point.
You could summon Goldblum into the field, absolutely, and then give him flying, and you have a flying T-Rex.
No, see, I wouldn't wild shape into the T-Rex. I will wild shape into an Ankylosaurus just so I can whop someone with the tail, just straight up, just.
I would love to see like a druid wild shape into a T-Rex, but not wild shape his sword, so that the little arms would have the sword.
That'd be kind of cool.
No,
T-Rex wielding a
better with
scimitar.
daggers.
Dual daggers, exactly.
It's a rogue T-Rex.
He has one flipped underhand.
Yeah. How did the T-Rex hide? Like how? How did you lose an 8-foot tall dinosaur? I don't know, but then he stabbed the guy.
He just snuck up on us.
What? I'd be so mad. Get stabbed by a T-Rex that snuck up on me.
Then he
I would
got
be
away.
so
The next thing we
mad.
knew, we had no coin purses.
No
It
one
was
saw it
the
coming.
damnedest thing. I really want to play your Star Wars campaign, though, Bill. I created the perfect character. I created for that.
I like, the rules clearly state that the grappling hook can support the weight of the character plus 100 pounds.
So
And
I have a Jabba the Hutt type character, like grappling gun. This would be the day you almost caught Pizza the Hut. Just go away. That was the whole idea. I would only use it for like flashing getaways. And he was a pugilist. I would be drop kicking people with my tail. All of a sudden, you see this huge bulbous Hut, just doing all these acrobatics. Yeah.
Acrobatics he learned on Gyron 7.
Jesus.
He's been a T-Rex before. James Pathfinder do it. He's been a T-Rex before. Nice. And it was glorious.
I don't know what a Pathfinder is, though.
If any of the characters in the game would turn into a T-Rex, I'd be obliged to have one of the enemies say, "Don't move! He can't see you if you don't move." Advantage of your attack.
Eat that
He is currently
specific person.
self-petrified.
Exactly.
You do have an adult red dragon handy, right? You're going to need that soon.
I have a lot of red dragons handy.
I need
one in
adult.
particular. Yeah. Adult? Wait a minute. What are you playing?
Wizard can do that. When they get 9th level spell. Let's see.
You're good.
Adult
Oh,
is CR
shit.
18. So Brina can turn herself into an adult red dragon when she's level 18. I mean, it's basically living the dream. She can finally connect with her children. There's no reason she couldn't turn into, like, an adult red dragon just to scold them. Like, put the fear of God back into Sheldon, and he'll be like, I thought Mom was a gnome all this time, but now I'm really confused.
Mom?
Underestimated.
Because it's not polymorph, it's shapeshift, so she keeps all her spellcasting and everything when she does
You
it.
should still can. I mean, dragons can spellcast, so you
Sure.
wouldn't lose the ability to spellcast.
She gets all the physical bonuses, keeps the normal mental ones, but yeah, that'll teach them.
There's the concentration spell, so you get hits, but as long as you keep your concentration, you have combat mage, don't you? Or no, that was Gladira that had
That's
that.
Gladira, but you have to remember, as a dragon, your constitution is now like a 25, so you get a huge bonus on your save. So unless you're getting hit for
Really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because them be some tough scales. Oh, so James Zandria
was
on-
scrying on me, he was telling me.
Yeah, and on her level up, she took Demon Fight Club. So it's a custom spell that only Brina and
The Lich
know. But the moment she goes back, all she has to do is bring it up, and then she got it.
Sure.
So that's gonna be great. I can't wait until she gets Demon Fight Club. Oh my god, I'm so happy that James took that for Zandria.
It's
It's a ridiculous fun spell, but decent utility.
I'm waiting to use it with Gorn. Like next session that we get the opportunity to, I want Gorn to get a chance to just like
What are those demons there over there? Can I kill them both?
Sure, Gorn.
Well, I'm just asking because, Brady, can you summon something bigger for me to practice on? Like an Abaddon, something like that. Galbrizu, Bachizu, Tanari, something. Brady, please.
He's gonna change his tune about the whole gating in demons thing if it means he gets to practice.
And Kai can rage forever. That's right. She roleplayed that so well because she had her rage and she's like, "I'm still angry. I'm still angry."
Someone get her some chicky nuggies, quick!
Mm-hmm.
It's not working.
I just had an idea for this guy.
Oh no, here it comes.
Oh no, why did I do this to myself?
You're gonna have. Oh, I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna have dripping off of the appendages.
I was gonna do something like that where I was gonna take the super glue and let it drip down its form, and as it laid, and then color that as like ooze on them.
With an ink, or with an ink or something else.
I mean, that's the proper way to
With
do that
the-
carrion crawler. Actually, I mean, any other way is just
It's-
shortcutting it.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly. You might as you might as well not even have done it if you're not going to do that.
Yeah. And I need to paint his base first, and then I'll do the dripping. Because then that's something I can go over with glow in the dark paint.
Kai raging forever is so awesome.
Why stop with glow in the dark when you can have glow in the light paint though?
My inner artist weeps.
Well, I think we got some headway done. So let's show off our little work because we're getting ready to sign off here.
All right, so this is going to be like the Great British Baking Show time now.
Yeah.
All right, what did you finish with, Raoul?
Well, I have Mr. Snuggles.
I see you went with the Baked Alaska.
Yeah. So Mr. Snuggles, version 1.0. No armor, little red in the mouth, a little color in the snout.
Now, how did you prime Mr.
Glacier.
Snuggles?
Pre-primed. So the work was done for me.
And what shade of paint did you use to...
So for the polar bear, I decided to do something different and went with white.
Oh,
And,
a bold choice.
Yeah, so over primer, which was actually not white, it was kind of gray. When I applied the white paint, I realized that's not white. So I got the white paint on there, and then I did a dark wash to get a little more contrast, and then I did a white dry brush over the top. Once I did that to give the fur a little contrast, and also the base right there, the little glacier he's on, I did a blue wash with a white dry brush over the top. A little bit of red in the mouth, a little bit of color in the snout,
Snoot.
and that was him.
Highly technical term.
And for his advanced one, which I don't feel like he's done, but
I agree.
I primed this one with gray, painted him white where his fur is white. I have brown on the leather straps for the armor. The armor itself I hit with some what's
Wash.
it called? Well, I hit with a wash after with none oil, but lead belcher I hit him with to give it that metallic, steel metal look.
Never saw it coming.
His snoot has a little black, little color to it. His eyes are just dotted black. And the leather straps holding the armor to his back. It's pretty simple, very straightforward, nothing fancy on this guy. I could definitely do more with the armor, but I didn't. I might do more in the future, but he's table ready right now. That's all I'm happy about. So that's it. Mr. Snuggles in both his forms. Falling. Caught myself. There we go.
Literally, you see the bears on camera, off camera, on camera.
So here's Grom. I'm going to let Raoul hold it. So hey, look at that. My first paint job in a long time. What can I say? He has the minimum 3 colors plus primer. So he's table legal for many tabletop games.
I see you sharpened his axe.
Yeah. I realized as I was going through it that I did not have the detailed brushes that I needed, so a lot of those straps just didn't get the love that they needed. But it's okay because he was a practice. I did like how the axe head came out. I guess I could wash it, but I just don't see much of a need to since it stands out and most of them is pretty muted. I did absolutely nothing with the face except for flesh tone. If I had a detail brush, I might have put in a little bit of shading. I guess a flesh wash would work on it too, right? I'm looking at the Pro. Did I say that? Yeah. But
That would work really well.
I don't know. I mean, other than cleaning up the lines on his armor and getting a fine detail brush to do that, I don't know that there's much else to do to him for me to consider it done. It's not supposed to be a high quality piece.
Once you get that fine detail brush, dude, just top it off and it'd be perfect.
I like this one.
The green came out pretty well on here. That's Feywild green, and then I put like, what was it? Green flame or something like that. Is kind of just along the ridges like you guys suggested. Yeah, the face is a little. It could use a little love. I think I got a little green on his face, so it's showing through the flesh tone. But you know,
Okay, it's camouflage.
it's a lot. Yeah,
There
sure.
you go.
It's a lot of browns. A lot of browns. My least favorite colors to paint with: brown, 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 brown. But you know, again, for a first foray, it's good.
I like this one.
It looks really good.
I mean, if I show you one of my machine painted ones and bring it over here, you'll see this
it's
is
probably
better.
on par with it. It probably has more color, just a little bit more color, because the machine painted ones, I think they do only 3 colors on them.
I think so.
So I have a 4th metal color.
Fancy, pinky up.
Yeah, right. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. Ooh, with an accent. So, yeah, 6 if you count the stone on the base. But I guess the only other thing I could do with these besides the painting is actually flock the base or something and paint it. But I've never actually had any success doing that, so I usually don't try, as you can see from my past examples of what I've done. So
That definitely takes some time and practice.
I know. So, meh.
Okay, and there's this guy, my little carrion crawler.
We gotta get Kenny in here for this sometime.
As you can see, I'm actually making more of a bioluminescent theme with this guy. I'm going to actually add some nice bright ooze onto him as my final steps. I have a few different colors on him. It's coming out good. I'm liking the way he's coming out so far. Once I get the base done, I'll add that little ooze effect and stuff. And if I have the time, I will definitely find some glow-in-the-dark paint to add onto him to make that ooze pop really well, which would be really cool. Then if I can get a cool like blackout shot with just the ooze glowing, I would definitely send that your way so you can actually poke that up if you would like with it. That'd be pretty cool. Man, this guy's almost done. A lot of small detail work and stuff like that. It took a little extra time, like all the little dots and his little tentacles up front and stuff like that, but I'm happy with him. It's coming out good.
Cool. Run around to the command center.
And what will you paint the base? I forgot to ask that.
That
What or how?
I'm debating on whether
Sorry, Mule.
I want to do like sandy earth or go more with like a hard rock like in the Underdark and stuff like that, and try to see if I might add like a small little effect of like a glowing stone or something in there to show like mineral deposits and stuff like that in the rock. So yeah, I always get
So
a
you
little
might
intricate
get-
with the
you-
bases.
You would actually get those glow-in-the-dark crystals for polar bears and then use them in your... Okay,
Oh,
cool.
yeah, of course.
So you'd be willing to do that for his...
Nice. Nice.
So anyway, I'll show you the other ones that I've done before, and you can see the bases on them. Those things.
That's our stream for tonight. No stream tomorrow night because Christmas Eve, and we're going to be with our families. And I hope you all out there, the internetverse, have a wonderful Christmas Eve. Being Latino, and I will as well. Christmas Eve is our Christmas. Christmas Day we just kind of eat leftovers and hang out. Christmas Eve is when we do our big celebrating. So yeah, time to be with family then. And Saturday we are going to have a game. DM's Angels are on deck. And then we'll just kind of wing it from there. Next week is going to be interesting. I'll be getting home from work at like 5:30.
Which day? Monday?
The entire week.
Oh.
So Sunday I'll have off completely. I might do a random stream. One thing I want to do, because I have the Stadia, spoiler alert, I love it. It works very well, the Stadia, and I want to do some streaming with the Stadia so you can see how the Stadia plays.
Stadia is one of the things that's very polarizing. I think the only thing bad about Stadia is that Google promised a lot of things that aren't really there.
Yet.
Their launch yet, but it's coming out hard and fast, man. They're bringing a lot of updates really quick. The big question everyone had about Stadia 2, does it work? If it doesn't work, it's like, it works. It is great. For a guy like me, who hasn't really played any AAA titles over the past generation of games because I haven't had time to do it, Stadia makes a lot of sense. For someone who already has the Xbox One, has a PlayStation 4, and have all these AAA games, it doesn't make sense to buy the AAA game again on the Stadia. Why would you do that if you already have it on the console? The Stadia, though, what they bring is a lot of utility, and if you don't already have those AAA games, like I don't, it makes sense to buy it on the Stadia. So the Stadia is hitting all the right notes with me specifically in my particular schedule situation. But more on that later because I'm working on creating a more in-depth review, and I would love to stream it here. But anyway, I'm just spitballing now, and I'm just thinking out loud. Thank you very much for watching us stumble through painting our minis. I'm very happy to have painted my polar bears. Happy to see Bill painting again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Will, thank you so much once again for joining us.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much it. So, getting ready to hover over the stop streaming button. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and have a wonderful evening and a great Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.